to kill him. He said, Daddy, hold on true. Daddy gives me fever when you kiss me, fever when you holds me inside. Fever, karma is missus, so Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you listen to my story. Here's the point that I made. Chicks were born to give you fever. Be it Fahrenheit or centigrade, they give you fever when you kiss them, fever when you live alone, fever till you sizzle. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn.
KUAM-FM Hagaya, Guam. You're listening to The Link with Chris and Sabrina on Breeze 93.9.
Ko sinya uli di sombranza tanmak Ezuita saluda antes de niga Radzaudzan malak estrezas durante todo el memu a nogi distancia como kupugi palu zaniman malak guafi Ikonuna sugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues atan fanni bandera kau Esta pagua pumalapa Gilo tanu man libri Sentanu iti man ko badi
Nota kanzai tunonya gitoru iluga todo e tempo e paz para Isa Zangini na bendición contra peligro na avança fuam Deus proteges land contra peligro na avança fuam Deus proteges land
Good morning, Guam. 6:11 in the morning. You're tuned in to The Link. We're back another day with so many awesome guests. Welcome to the show. This show, remember, being brought to you by Calvo Enterprises. Also being brought to you by IT&E. Half a day. My name is Victorious. Joined here with me, the awesome crew. I have Sabrina Salas Matanani, Jason Salas, Joe Sir. And then in the Zoom room, we're bringing you the show from everywhere, all around the world, especially from his kitchen. Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room here. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much, and welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing good, and I'm excited because yesterday after we talked, we started the show by you calling me out on my lost wedding ring, and it showed up in the mail.
All right.
So I'm officially off the market again.
And loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it. I told my wife when I lost the ring, I was like, "Oh, this was forever? Huh? Wow, okay."
Yeah, I'm sure your wife was like, "Wait, excuse me, you're not wearing what?"
Yeah, she's like,
You
"Where's your
spend
ring?"
every
It's like,
single
"Oh."
second, sir, of your time teleworking at home, turning the house upside down to find that ring.
Pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now I am complete.
Nicely done. Okay, and you've got, can you hold it up again? Is that like one of those, because I notice a lot of people when they get wedding bands these days, is that pure silver or is that like one of those dark black ones? The black ones are super
It's
cool.
titanium.
Oh,
Whoa.
fancy.
Wow.
Yes, fancy you.
Well done, Mrs. Wheeler.
Yeah, she knocked it out of the park, obviously. So I figured, all right, I guess I'll marry her.
Okay, and can you describe for us, Andy, like what was the wedding band that you got her?
It was, nice little wedding band. She's the one that picked it out.
Nice.
And, it's one of those, like, if I picked it out, then, so leave it up to the professional.
Very cool.
So she can't get mad. So that's
No,
good.
no. She can't be like, it's not really what I wanted.
Right. Sorry, that was a phone call. If Mr. Borja, we're gonna get to you a little bit later, and I'll try and call you back. I will go to a break at some point, and then I can. Oh, there he is again. You guys want to talk for a second, so I can take this?
Okay, yeah. The wonderment that is live streaming, live radio, everybody. So yeah, we got a really
I guess
good.
we're off to a good start today, huh?
Yeah, came right out of the gate. Yeah, so we're coming out swinging, but we got a really good show for you guys. We are going to talk to some people who have been nominated. I guess the correct term is recommended by our congressional delegate because nomination is kind of like a different protocol. But Mike Nicholas, he of course will be returning to his seat as our delegate in Washington, D.C. He has recommended several people to serve in positions of leadership. He, as the former Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard, General Roderick Leon Guerrero, Shelly Calvo, who is a local business person, and Anthony Borja, who Bree was just on the phone with, and I believe he's good to go, right, Bree?
He said he didn't get the email, so I'm going to send it to him now.
Okay.
With, the invite.
And again, those of you that missed out yesterday, Chris is on vacation. Fear not, he's okay. He's just on vacation. So Vic and I taking over. It's been a while since we've been on the radio, Vic.
Been a minute.
Feeling a little rusty? You feeling good?
Yeah. I look at the board. I'm like, wait, which one? What is that? Like, what does that do? Like, am I supposed to press that? Like, did I break the show? But slowly
Yeah, no
getting back
pressure.
into it. It's a lot. But thank you. I mean, when you're sitting behind a board and you're looking at like a million screens and try not to mess up because you're on Facebook Live. We're also on live television right now, KWM TV 11. We're all the way until 8 o'clock on the tele. So it's a lot of pressure, but we're getting used to it. Not Chris Malfunction, but
it's good to be back on. And like I said, man, once you and I stopped doing radio, the budget went through the roof. Apparently, they got all this technology. Like, where was this?
Yeah, the budget totally went through the roof. We got a stapler. We spared no expense.
state of the art stapler.
Yeah. Okay, so of course, what we would be remiss if we didn't say Hafaday to all of our online community. So Hafaday and good morning, and guys, feel free to shout out the comments that are shouting us out. Brown Sugar Tea, our friend from the LBC, guys, as the cool kids say, from Long Beach, California. I don't know if AT, are you still in Vegas right now? Because last time we caught up with her, It was a week ago today. She was Top Fan Tuesday, and she was in Vegas at the DMV doing some stuff. But she goes, Sabrina, you're a beautiful Chamarita, 3 hearts. Aw.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Emma Fernando Olalia says, Hafaday, good morning, and be safe. The same to you.
Wait, Brown Sugar Tea didn't say anything about how Vic and I are pretty or anything? No?
Well, no, our online community is awesome. So once they get the visual down, you might have to change your lighting there, Andy. Get that nice, like, natural sheen, the reflection off your head, and then, you know.
What do you call the TikTok lighter or the ring light?
Ring light.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, I gave Sabrina's son, my nephew, TikTok star, right? I gave him a ring light, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, Brock, man, so what have you done with the ring light? He's like, no, I'm getting ready for, like, finals, which is totally cool. And then when Sabrina stayed home that one day when, you know, after she got her second COVID test, she actually used the ring light.
Second and third?
That thing popped.
The lighting.
Your lighting was really, really good. So, yeah, guys, if you have the means and you can afford it a little bit, ask Santa for a ring light. It makes a world of difference, especially if you're teleworking, if you're going to school remotely, if you're just doing social media content. You will take your social game to a completely different level. It's not like you're having like one of those big floodlights that you see GPD roll out with, you know, when they do the
checkpoints.
Yeah, like the checkpoints to see if anybody's driving intoxicated. It's not like, you know, a traditional light where it's in your face and it's hot and it's blinding to. Ring lights, they're very, very soft. You can control the hue. By the way, I should get some sort of commission because I'm telling everybody to buy ring lights out there.
Sponsored by ring lights.
Okay, but actually, you know, I'm preaching to the choir here because, Andy, you are somewhat of a budding professional photographer yourself. So how long have you actually used ring lights in your work?
I never have, Jason. So thanks for that. Yeah, no, I don't use ring lights. I don't do a whole lot of social media. If I do, it's my cats. That's it. My whole thing is I don't really need to be seen. So,
Okay.
All right.
Did we go through the list of people that we have on for the show today?
Yes.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into the news.
Sure.
All right. Hafaday, Guam recorded its 119th COVID-19 related fatality on Monday. According to the Joint Information Center, a 44-year-old man with underlying health conditions that expired at home on December 9th. He was a known COVID-19 case. The JIC also reported there are 31 new positive cases that were identified from 1,165 tests that were performed between last Friday and Sunday. Guam's current COVID case count is now 7,137 confirmed cases since March, with 526 active cases and 6,492 recoveries. There are 25 COVID admissions in island hospitals, 9 in ICU, and 5 are on ventilators. Guam's CAR score is now 1.3. As for the latest with the vaccine in the U.S. mainland, some frontline health workers have now received their first dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. Shipments of nearly 3 million doses are underway, and the first delivery took place early this morning. Naomi Rucham is outside a hospital in Queens, New York, where the first person in the U.S. received the vaccine.
In a live-streamed event from Long Island Jewish Medical Center, critical care nurse Sandra Lindsay was given the first dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine.
You didn't flinch. I take it that Dr. Chester has a good touch.
She has a good touch, and it didn't feel any different from taking any other vaccine.
Lindsay's hospital is in Queens, New York, one of the communities hardest hit when the pandemic began. She's been on the front line from the start and has a message for all Americans.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we still need to continue to wear our masks, to social distance.
The vaccine can't come soon enough. The overall U.S. death toll is expected to hit 300,000 later today. The massive coordinated shipping effort began Sunday. Trucks filled with vaccine doses left Pfizer's facility in Michigan under U.S. Marshal escort. The first wave includes 2.9 million doses packed in boxes that will keep the vaccine at negative 94 degrees. Both UPS and FedEx are delivering them to 145 distribution centers in 30 cities across the country. The entire logistics effort is being tracked in real time inside the UPS COVID Command Center.
It gets on the plane first, it gets off the plane first, the drivers and the pilots both know that they're carrying vaccines.
First doses are also going to nursing home residents. More than 76,000 residents in long-term care facilities have died from COVID-19 and nearly 1,200 staff members. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And with more on the preparation for the vaccine's arrival to Guam, here is Peter Santos.
Afre, good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Santos with your headlines here on The Link. Because we've all been doing our part to contain COVID, the governor, in a special video message released on social media, announced the further easing of restrictions.
Last month, I asked you to strive for 5.
And the community in the past couple of weeks not only got the CAR score down to 5, but even below to where it is today at 1.6.
After meeting with the Physicians Advisory Council and the State Surgeon's Cell, and after serious consideration, we will be easing a few restrictions as we head into the holiday season. Effective Tuesday, December 15 at 8 a.m., the following restrictions will be relaxed. Social gathering will be increased from 5 to 10 persons. Religious ceremonies occurring indoors may operate at 50% of the facility's occupancy. Retail may operate at 50% of its facility's occupancy. And diners enjoying outdoor dining may sit at tables not to exceed 10 persons.
What will continue to be prohibited from opening are bars, and the ban on indoor dining will remain in place.
While some may say lifting of these restrictions is too conservative, far slower than what we'd like to see, I am heeding the counsel of our experts and our federal partners, who warn that because COVID cases are surging across the United States, emergency resources may not be there for everyone who needs them in the event of a third wave.
The governor adds that other restrictions may be lifted if we continue to sustain our CAR score, but we must continue on a steady pace and not celebrate too early.
Victory laps come at the end of the race, and we have sacrificed too much to start all over.
Everyone is encouraged not to let their guard down because we are not out of the woods.
Taking the necessary sanitization and disinfection efforts in work in public areas for everyone's safety. Executive Manager John Kanata saying it appears that community spread is where most of our employees are contracting the COVID virus. From curb to cabin, they have implemented protective measures to safeguard all who work and travel through the Guam airport, and airport operations remain unaffected. And a firefighter assigned to the Inarajan fire station tested positive for COVID yesterday. The firefighter has started experiencing symptoms Sunday and then was tested. He is currently in home isolation. According to Guam Fire Department spokesperson Kevin Riley, the Southern Fire Station was sanitized and decontaminated on Monday. Until testing is completed, cohort quarantining, a public health approved practice of grouping asymptomatic personnel who were exposed to the positive case, is in effect for the remaining personnel. Emergency operations will continue with adjustments made in scheduling. To date, there have been a total of 11 GFD personnel that have tested positive for COVID. And again, here is Peter Santos with more headlines.
Afre, good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Santos. Afre, good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Santos with your headlines here on The Link. Because we've all been doing our part to contain COVID, the governor, in a special video message released on social media, announced the further easing of restrictions.
Last month, I asked you to strive for 5.
And the community in the past couple of weeks not only got the CAR score down to 5, but even below to where it is today at 1.6.
After meeting with the Physicians Advisory Council and the State Surgeon's Cell, and after serious consideration, we will be easing a few restrictions as we head into the holiday season. Effective Tuesday, December 15 at 8 a.m., the following restrictions will be relaxed. Social gathering will be increased from 5 to 10 persons. Religious ceremonies occurring indoors may operate at 50% of the facility's occupancy. Retail may operate at 50% of its facility's occupancy. And diners enjoying outdoor dining may sit at tables not to exceed 10 persons.
What will continue to be prohibited from opening are bars, and the ban on indoor dining will remain in place.
While some may say lifting of these restrictions is too conservative, far slower than what we'd like to see, I am heeding the counsel of our experts and our federal partners, who warn that because COVID cases are surging across the United States, emergency resources may not be there for everyone who needs them in the event of a third wave.
The governor adds that other restrictions may be lifted if we continue to sustain our CAR score, but we must continue on a steady pace and not celebrate too early.
Victory laps come at the end of the race, and we have sacrificed too much to start all over.
Everyone is encouraged not to let their guard down because we are not out of the woods.
With the holidays upon us, it is important that as we celebrate, we do not lose sight of all that we have lost, that we recognize our responsibility to keep each other safe, and that we continue to exercise caution and behave with the understanding that momentary lapses in our better judgment can hurt the ones we love.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
The latest from the Department of Corrections' efforts to contain COVID. According to Major Anton Uggan, the number of positive cases is slowly going down, and starting tomorrow, DOC is allowing incoming drop-offs.
You know, we're getting through it. We're getting through it one day at a time.
It's been over a week since the Department of Corrections has reported any new positive COVID-19 cases. In the span of about 1 month, DOC experienced a total of 171 prisoners contracting the virus.
You know, when it first started, of course, you know, it hit us like a freight train. The positives were coming back to back all over the compound, and then staff were being let out positive and quarantined. And everything kind of just happened so fast. You know, I mean, within a week or so, we had 50 officers out, 100 and some inmates positive.
There are currently 10 prisoners with COVID-19. One is hospitalized at GMH. As for the employees, there are 10 officers and 1 civilian positive for the virus. 4 staff are in quarantine. The case count may be going down, but DOC is not letting their guard down, according to Department of Corrections spokesperson Major Anton Uggan. In addition to constructing a dome into an isolation facility, a warrior tent has been set up behind Post 16 by the Department of Public Works.
Now that not as many inmates, you know, it's not as stressful, but that's why we're still doing our quarantine. That's why we're still doing our quarantine facilities, and we're still moving forward with all our plans, just in case something should happen again, and you know, we should have a spike or another increase.
Uggan says employees are still clocking in 7-day work weeks, although most are back to their original line of duty.
Now that everyone is coming back slowly, our SORT team has been reactivated. Those officers are back on operations. Our IA guys are back at their job. Our parole officers are not, they're still helping out, just not as much as they would. And of course, our visitation staff are now returning back to visitation.
Returning back to operate incoming drop-offs beginning tomorrow until December 23rd. Uggan says they are allowing more variety of items for the incoming. A list of the authorized items and times for drop-offs can be found on our website.
That's the news for now. We'll
the
see you all
Guam
at
Department
6
of Labor
tonight.
announces that it plans to pay out nearly 2.5 months worth of initially cleared claims this week, or PUA, through December 9th. The most recent batch covered claims through October 1st. According to a release, in order to meet this goal, DOL will batch this Thursday instead of today. According to Labor Director David Della Sola, if everything goes well, this batch will get to the people before Christmas. From session, Senator Regine Bisco Lee's Bill 340, known as the Recovery, Income Support and Empowerment Act of 2020, or the RISE Act, was moved to the voting file. The legislation would provide up to financial assistance of $800 for individuals and $1,600 for joint filers.
The RISE Act allows the governor to transfer now up to $30 million from the general fund or appropriate federal appropriations to pay for direct financial assistance to our neediest families. And given our government's current cash challenges, I think that the best model to follow is one that grants the greatest flexibility for finding and using local dollars, and the one that we know has worked in the past. To address the elephant in the room, Madam Speaker, yes, this bill was set aside shortly after it was discussed on the floor. And that's because months ago, the governor heeded our calls to prioritize federal subsidies for direct financial assistance to our people. But as stated correctly by our DRT director, Ms. Daphne Shimizu, during this measure's public hearing, any application and disbursement period for Program Salapi has come and gone. And generally speaking, CARES money cannot be spent after 2020 ends. Madam Speaker, this bill is being revisited because we can see the writing on the wall. Unemployment benefits, which have saved tens of thousands of workers from financial disaster, may not be as robust as it is today. Our neediest people will need another round of assistance within the next year, likely within the next few months. And I ask our colleagues to heed the criticism that we felt in April from our struggling families, that we waited too long before planning, giving them much needed assistance. And this is our chance to do just that before 2021 comes. This assistance can help families buy groceries while their SNAP or welfare applications may be processed, or to save for balloon payments, for rent, for utilities, for loans. Madam Speaker, this bill will begin the process to help up to 30,000 families with an assistance check. And we were able to develop this model by standing by a decision to make GovGuam employees and federal government workers ineligible for this aid. And I understand the criticism that this isn't fair, but it also has not been fair that while our brothers and sisters in the private sector have been laid off, furloughed, and left to navigate a never-before-done unemployment program, we in the government of Guam and in the federal civil service have been sitting pretty. We've been getting, many of us, at least 100% of our pay this entire year. And as I said earlier, Madam Speaker, I think we who are in public service should really check our privilege and sit this one out. Madam Speaker, the RISE Act provides us an opportunity to proactively plan to provide for our families. And there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the negotiations in Washington, D.C. over the next round of stimulus legislation, and we should be prepared. We should be prepared if they act, we should be prepared if they do not. But this bill will also be helpful even in the event that GovGuam receives a federal subsidy that allows for direct aid to island residents later in the fiscal year. That's because of the safety net that we can enact through Bill 340, a proactive plan GovGuam can complete in case our families can't afford to wait for the next wave of help from Washington, or to give the local government the ability to stay.
Senator Regine Bisco Lee on her Bill 340, the Recovery Income Support and Empowerment Act of 2020, the RISE Act. It was moved to the voting file. The measure would provide up to financial assistance of $800 for individuals and $1,600 for joint filers. This would not apply to GovGuam employees or federal employees. Senators are scheduled to go back into session at 9 o'clock this morning. The Guam Police Department asking for the public's help in locating a man wanted for questioning relative to an aggravated assault that occurred on December 8th on Charles Toves Street in Tamuning. 25-year-old Ronat Chitaro is described as Chuquis, between 5'6" to 5'7", weighing between 130 to 135 pounds. He has short black hair and a dark complexion and a tattoo of the letters JBC on his upper arm area. He was last seen wearing black shorts and a black shirt in Tamuning and is known to frequent the beaches in the area. If you happen to see Chitaro, do not approach him. He is considered armed and dangerous. You're asked to call GPD's dispatch at 475-8615 through 17. You can also leave a tip anonymously at guam.crimestoppersweb.com, and you can also view a picture of him on our social media. Congressman Michael St. Nicholas has sent over a pair of recommendations to the incoming Biden-Harris administration. He has recommended retired Brigadier General Roderick Leon Guerrero to serve as Deputy Secretary of Veterans Affairs. The congressman saying General Leon Guerrero brings to the office an extensive background of service and achievement for Guam and the United States, with a stellar reputation culminating as the Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard. General Leon Guerrero has a military career spanning nearly 34 years, from enlistee to officer, earning numerous awards and decorations throughout his service. A combat veteran, General Leon Guerrero is also a lifetime member of both the National Guard Association of the United States and the Veterans of Foreign Affairs, and in 2020 was inducted into the Cadet Command Hall of Fame in Fort Knox, Kentucky. The congressman also recommended Shelly Vargas Calvo to serve as U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines. The congressman saying Calvo's Filipino-American heritage, extensive networks in domestic and international Filipino organizations, along with business and philanthropic success in both Guam and the Philippines, make her an ideal candidate to reinvigorate Philippine-American diplomacy. Calvo is a founder and entrepreneur, having established multiple small businesses and international businesses on Guam and between the Philippines. She has served as a community organizer of many performing arts projects and in numerous leadership capacities in various civic and nonprofit organizations. And finally, Marine Corps Base Camp Bloss has transferred all donated toys to its partners, officially concluding the 2020 Toys for Tots campaign on Guam. With the help and support of all our partners and contributors this year, over 9,800 toys were collected in the territory, going to children in need and spreading a message of happiness and hope this holiday season, while also contributing over $74,000 to various stores across Guam. Camp Bloss Commanding Officer Colonel Bradley McGrath thanks all their partners, volunteers, and anyone who was able to contribute to the campaign. Their selflessness, charity, and dedication to the community ensured the success of the Toys for Tots campaign. And that is your news, but stay tuned. We'll have more on the link after the break.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party, where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details, and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
You overcame the challenges of this day and age and showed the world that our spirit of Inafat Malik is unbreakable. Siduas Maasi to all our community partners who helped the KUAM Care Force in giving back this year. And thanks to you especially, the people of Guam. Your kindness and generosity gave hope to so many in need this year. Let Giving Tuesday be the spark that keeps the spirit of generosity going throughout the year.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace continues on the stations of KUAM and on our webpage at KUAMChristmasPops.com. Catch the encore through December 11th on demand and on the stations of KUAM Communications. The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Into our Zoom room now. We're going to bring in our first guest, Mr. Anthony Borja. Good morning, Mr. Borja. He's coming to us all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. And as we have been talking about over the past several weeks, Congressman San Nicolas has been making several recommendations to the Biden-Harris administration. And one of them is Mr. Borja to serve as the U.S. ambassador to the Republic of Palau. So congratulations, Mr. Borja, and good morning to you. How are you doing?
Oh, Akmasisi, very well. Ali and Ongyo Tutao and Buenos Dias para hamsa todo lopo.
And so, did you know that this recommendation was coming? Is this something that you had pitched to the congressman?
No, he called me up on a Saturday morning and asked me if I was interested in working for the government, and of course, it's you're honored to be called to serve, and that's exactly what I did. 4 days later, there was a press release, so it was pretty quick.
So, when you got the call, how excited, I guess, were you?
Oh, I'm very excited and very humbled to be asked.
Mm-hmm. And so for our viewers and our listeners that aren't familiar with you, Mr. Borja, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand that you are a retired United States Air Force major.
Yes, I'm a retired military officer with a veteran of 3 wars, Vietnam, Gulf War, and Bosnia. I'm originally from Saipan, moved to Guam, and qualified to be a U.S. citizen back in the days of the Organic Act of Guam in 1950. I come from a family of 12. I have a twin brother named Mario, lives in San Diego. I have 3 children.
I know Mario. I was wondering why you look so familiar.
We both carved a canoe back in 2011, finished it in 2012. It was the first 47-foot Chamorro Sacman, which is the authentic Sacman to the Anson drawing of 1742. I have, like I said, I have 3 children. The eldest one is Jenny Isa, Tassi Lynn, and Napo Anthony. I was married to Linda Gogo Castro of San Diego, but I'm currently happily married with Claire Crisostomo James, family in Bedzung of Barrigada. I've been in the military for 21 years, 0.7, and I've served in the United States, in Guam, Thailand, Philippines, in Europe, Italy, and Germany. And had a lot of experience with battle staff management, with radars and weapons control. I was an air traffic controller in the Navy, and that's when they teach you how to keep airplanes apart. And as a weapons controller in the Air Force, I was taught how to put them together, in a dogfight. So I retired in 1998 and out of NATO, and went to Saipan to teach school there for a couple years. And bought a house and farmed a little bit, and then I decided to come back to the States and stay here. The service here for the veterans in terms of healthcare is extraordinary. They have a new Veterans Medical Center, and it's great. It's difficult to get the same service on Guam due to the size of the CBOC. Right. However, it's been very fortunate for us to veterans here. There are approximately 130 Chamorros retirees, veterans that live here and are being serviced. I was part of the National Order of Chamorro, National Organization of Chamorro Veterans in America, and for about 5 years. I am currently, for the last 15 years, I've been working out of Palau, worked for 5 families trying to get the rights of the Chamorros to obtain land that they owned prior to World War II. And I successfully obtained titles for 260 acres for 5 families.
How long have you been in Vegas, and how did you land there?
I've been in Vegas since March of 2000. I'm a commuter. My wife lives in Barrigada, and I travel every 4 months back and forth, staying on Guam a little longer sometimes to help with the community and help my wife, with local things around the house.
When's the last time you were back on Guam?
6 weeks ago, I was there. And
did you go through the quarantine?
It kept us locked in for a while.
What about Palau? When's the last time you've been back to Palau?
Palau was 2017. We had to do some final work with the Palau Land Court and the Palau Bureau of Land Survey and office in Koror.
So the congressman made this recommendation. Have you heard anything from the Biden-Harris administration or anything else?
No. I sent a package to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and which Congressman Mike San Nicolas is a member of, and several other Hispanic representatives and senators. One of them is Senator Catarina Cortez Masto. She's from Las Vegas in my district here. And that would help out, perhaps.
Well, we do have another individual that was recommended by Congressman Michael San Nicolas in our Zoom room. It is Shelly Vargas Calvo. Good morning, Shelly. She was recommended by the congressman to serve as the U.S. ambassador to the Philippines. Good morning, Shelly.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
Congratulations.
And congratulations to you too, Mr. Borja, for your nomination. Hi, I want to say good morning to Mr. Wheeler and of course Sabrina. Good morning to you, and good morning, Guam.
Well, congratulations on this recommendation.
Thank you so much.
And so tell us about when you got the phone call from the congressman.
When I got the phone call.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it came very unexpected. We only got the phone call last week, so today would be the actual week, 1 week, when I spoke to Congressman Nicolas. What happened was he initially messaged me that he wanted to speak to myself and my husband together, and it took probably 2 days to arrange for a common schedule for the three of us. And finally, Tuesday last week, we were able to do a conference call. Initially, he did not tell me anything at all. And I asked him through the message that, it would be nice to know what it's about. He said it was just a surprise. So, and he'd like to talk to myself and Paul, my husband. And when we finally spoke, so Paul and I were debating, and we were just thinking, perhaps our honorable congressman would like to invite us to Washington, D.C. So those are the things that we were thinking about. But then again, so when we got into the phone line with him, then he said the news. I was kind of dumbfounded at first, and I guess in the next following days, it's just sinking in that it's a big honor. It's a big honor to be nominated and recommended to the President-elect Biden.
So do either of you know how many other recommendations there are, and what's the process from here on out? Because the recommendation is one thing, and then you have to get to the nomination. So have you been clued in as to the process from here on out?
Indeed, there is actually a whole procedure and process following this recommendation. I believe there's about 5 recommendations for different positions that he submitted, and in my case, I could only speak for myself. For the position that I have been recommended to, this would be classified as a political appointment. However, it's a political appointment that needs to go through a Senate confirmation. So that will be in the ambassadorship position. Now, I guess Mr. Borja can speak for himself for the particular position that he's recommended to.
Well, pretty much the same process. Understand that it's just a nomination, which is step 1, to the President-elect Biden's transition team. It goes to the State Department, I understand, for vetting. And that's where a lot of competition is, because they have the State Department preferred the foreign state officers to fill these positions. However, after the vetting process, approval from the president, then that's the third step of the process. After that, it goes to a senatorial hearing. Understand it's about 2 hours of interview in the Senate chambers, and after that, if you pass, then you celebrate. But that's
you're no stranger. Major, you're no stranger to this process, being a military man, going up for selection and then getting that next promotion. So this kind of seems like something you've been through before, but not on this level.
Andy, you're absolutely correct. And we just have to maintain and sustain and wish for the best,
Right. Right. And Shelly, for our viewers and listeners, if you can kind of just share a little bit about yourself.
I'm Shelly Vargas Calvo, and I'm married to Paul Baza Calvo. And I have been a resident of U.S. for 25 or so years. And I'm a small business operator. I've had a couple of businesses that I opened up. Some I wrapped up, some I sold. My interest, and I've been having I did a lot of businesses here in Guam and in the Philippines as well. I'm very familiar with Philippines because I was born and raised there, and I know the traditions, the cultures, of course the language. I speak fluent Filipino, so that's really a plus for this particular position. And I have very strong ties back home, relationships, network, colleagues, and you name it. So Guam has already been my home for the last, I would say, 18 years. But prior to Guam, I have lived in San Francisco since the mid-90s. And then I moved to Guam early 2000, and I have been calling Guam as my beautiful home from then and up till now. And I'm actually very proud and honored to be recommended in this very prestigious position. Just to be recommended alone, I think it's such a big honor already, and especially coming from Guam. I will tell you that if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that we have actively participated in the recommendation process. So this is something that's really very vital for Guam because it showcases us, and it actually sets a tone that we actually have an interest in matters that are very beneficial to our island, to our people, to our beautiful home. So that's it.
I wanted to ask you both, this recommendation, it's not a final, it's not a guarantee, but still there's the possibility that you do get confirmed in these positions. So have you already kind of started thinking about things you want to accomplish or goals that you have in mind if you do get confirmed to this position?
Can I take the lead on that real quick?
Adrian, go ahead.
Thanks, Shelly. Well, working at Anderson Air Force Base and in my business through Bilao from 2000 to 2017, I've had the opportunity to study the Palau Constitution of 1979, ratified in 1980, and the Palau National Code regarding land ownership and judicial cases addressing that subject. I've also been a study of the U.S. Palauan Compact of Free Association, and there are 4 titles there. Title 3 comes to me of great concern because it's about security and defense of agreements, and the United States has opportunity with Palau to renegotiate, to discuss the compact coming up in 2024. So that seems to be the direction that I'm thinking is what is best for the United States and for the people of Bilao. I'm conversational in Palauan, Tagalog, and fluent in Chamorro, both oral and written. And I feel that I could bring to the table the knowledge of the customs, the traditions, the mores, the laws, and the needs of the island. I have rooted sanguinity and affinity with the people of Bilao. We have family that were married to the Palauans and still are, and still live there. We've been there since 1896, my family, and they have spilled their blood. And I have always mentioned to them that Adara Bilao means I am Palauan as well. Not to forget the premise that I am representing my United States government, and the fact that I need to study that position and how I can best transition the Palawan-U.S. relations. We need the flag and the flag of the United States flying in Palau because it provides us a democratic system and of lands and judicial system, and also the ability for us to travel. We have a lot of veterans over there, and we need to maintain that relationship with the people of Palau and the Micronesian and the entire Pacific Islands, And I think that working with the other representatives and ambassadors in the area, I think we can conducively come to that melting point, the culminating point of doing the best for the United States and its people, our people in the Pacific. So that's where my concentration is, Andy. Thank you. It's a good question.
Excellent. Shelly?
For this particular position, the ambassadorship, to be a U.S. ambassador to the Philippines, there's so much moving pieces that I really need to be in depth and be abreast. I could only say that I am just at the surface of all the issues, but I could of course not speak prematurely with regards to many sensitive issues, and especially with security and stuff between Philippines and U.S. But if I ever get the post, I, of course, primarily would like to take good care of our citizens that are living in the Philippines. There's a lot of Americans that live there. And to be accurate about it, it would be about 220,000 individuals, American citizens, that are living in the Philippines. And of course, taking care of their welfare, assisting them would be a primary task for me, one of the primary tasks for me. And another primary task that an ambassador would do, and if I ever come in as ambassador, is of course to strengthen that long alliance that U.S. and Philippines have. This alliance dates back over 100 years ago. So there's a lot of shoes to fill for someone like me to come in. There were so many ambassadors already that held the position in the past, and there's so many good ambassadors. So big shoes to fill, and a lot of issues to talk about. But for this particular session, I really do not want to get ahead of everything, of all the matters, because most of state matters are very sensitive, and I would rather wait for our next interview as we progress along. But I would also focus on a personal note. Those are the things that I would focus on: strengthening the ties of U.S. and Philippines, of course, assisting the U.S. citizens that live there. And of course, I will definitely do a lot of humanitarian work and advocacies, because that is really what I've been doing the last more than decade here on Guam.
Well, let's bring in Michelle Kramer. She was recommended by Congressman Michael San Nicolas to be the U.S. ambassador to the Republic of the Marshall Islands. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming in to our show.
Good morning. Good morning, Sabrina, Andy Wheeler. Congratulations, Shelly, and Mr. Anthony Borja.
Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
And so, Michelle, I guess we can start with just telling our viewers and our listeners a little bit about yourself and your initial reaction when you got the phone call about this recommendation by the congressman.
Wow. Okay. So I have to say it was about a week ago. So it was on a Friday, and got an early message from the congressman. If he wanted to speak to my father and I. And it was that morning, you know, when he had asked, I was thinking of something else, you know, like a secretary position. And when I hung up the phone, my dad said, you know, this is the U.S. ambassador for the Marshall Islands. And it was like, wow, you know, that was just, you know, honored and humbled, and just thankful that, you know, he has this confidence for me. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from the Marshall Islands, born and raised in Major Marshall Islands. I am a number 5 out of 7 kids that my parents have, and my father is from Boston, Massachusetts, and my mother is of mixed nationality. She's originally from Saipan. My grandmother is Carolinian, and my grandfather is of Marshallese, Gilbertese descent. So that's where I have my bloodline. What would I talk about? I attended my primary school year in the Marshall Islands, and my first experience out of the well, I wouldn't say first. You know, we were fortunate, but we were able to travel back and forth. And I remember in my primary years, we would travel between Saipan to visit my mom's family, and then that's when we would come through Guam. So I had some, you know, familiarization with Guam and how the island was. And when I came in for my high school year, that was at Notre Dame High School. During that time, and it was still a culture shock for me. Mm-hmm. You know, growing up from, you know, Marshall Islands is a small island, but Guam is also an island. But to me, it was big. You know, we don't have the franchise, you know, the fast food life, and, you know, the movie theaters that Guam had, the Marshalls didn't. And it was a change, big change. But I came here because I had my siblings and family that were already attending school and working here. And I was fortunate to I spent 1 year here in Guam, and transferred to a boarding school in Honolulu, Mid-Pacific Institute, where I graduated high school there in '98. I don't know, but trying to get back. I'm trying to get all my education part, but I ended up attending Hawaii Pacific University, and I got my Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. It was then when I graduated with my undergraduate degree, I ended up going back to the Marshall Islands to help with their family business. And there was an ad or an opportunity to start on a management training program with Bank of Guam that same year. And so I had left the Marshalls to come back to Guam in 2005. And in that training program, that's where I first met Congressman Michael Nicholas. And so we were both in that intensive program for a year. And after that year, I got promoted to the branch bank officer at Garapan and Saipan, which I served in Garapan, Saipan, Bank of Guam, Garapan branch for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, having to spend 3 years with the bank, you know, with the growing business in the Marshall Islands, my family had asked me, you know, maybe, you know, we missed you. We would love to have you back home to help with the company. So went back to the Marshalls. And during that time, there was, you know, the news broke out with the Marines possibly moving to Guam. And there was, you know, all this hype with the economy of Guam, you know, boosting. And, you know, there was an opportunity for us to grow our business here on Guam. So we purchased the time, it was a wholesale company, and that's how we ended up coming back. Well, I ended up coming back here. And then, you know, a few years later, met my husband here, who's also of multinational. You know, he's born and raised in Pohnpei, and he's also part Palauan. So our kids are very multinational, and I speak Marshallese to my kids. He speaks Pohnpeian to his, to our kids, and they learn English from being here.
Well,
let
me ask you guys this. You all seem to be surprised by this recommendation by the congressman, and you all seem, like I said, surprised. So, if you could tell me, why do you think that he recommended each of you to the positions? And we'll start with you, Mr. Borja.
Well, I have worked with with Congressman Mike within the Mariano Borja Estate Corporation, a corporation that we started in March of 2000 to organize our effort in obtaining our rights to land in Belao. And we started 2000. In 2004, I was the president. I was elected the president until 2017. And Michael was my vice president for several years. So he understands, and we both went to Palau in 2012 to a land court hearing and a Supreme Court hearing eventually. So he pretty much knew how I was working over there and how I was conducting myself in Palau with the people, and how I can navigate through the judicial and political arenas to obtain the support that we needed to be successful with our cases. So in that respect, I feel that he has a great understanding of my capabilities to do that same work back in Palau as the ambassador. Anyway, that's what I think. How he got his mass information from me.
Shelly?
I have worked with the congressman on his first campaign, the initial, in his first term. And he actually had plans to involve me or get me involved in his first year. So he just so this is actually his second term now. So in the first term, he had wishes to, he's expressed wishes for me to help him out. But I was brought in and I was pulled in a different direction during that time on personal reasons, business reasons. So I humbly and respectfully declined. So now in his second term, he's never forgotten, and he just decided he firmly believes that I will be able to forge and continue secure that good alliance between U.S. and Philippines. And I believe he understands and he knows very well my skills, my work habits, and he knows that I'm a very determined person and a very hardworking person. And like him, he knows that we're when we are working, we hardly sleep. And I actually am very thankful for that trust from him. And I think because I am also Filipino-American, I was born there, I know the landscape, I know the culture, the traditions. I have extensive network there, not just in the Philippines, but also US. I lived in San Francisco for a long time, in California too. And so I'm very well traveled. And I have a perky personality and very friendly. So perhaps he saw a lot of potential and appointing me, or not appointing me, but recommending me for this particular position. And that's it.
Miss Michelle?
Oh, Congressman. Well, I'd have to say that I have, I have an extensive networking of, both public and private sector. I've worked with both. I've served in several boards in the Marshall Islands as well as on Guam. So I know that if he needed to connect with anybody, I had no problems in making that connection. Also, I'm proud of my heritage in both American and both Marshallese. I grew up knowing the tradition and the culture in both the Marshall Islands in my primary years. Even though I'm here in Guam, Guam is our home. I'm still well in touch with my family, people in the Marshalls with issues that are happening there. And I'm also well aware of how the U.S. is growing, being American educated. I think, if being selected, I think I'd be in a unique position where it will be a unique opportunity because of the welfare of the Marshall Islands being important to the U.S. There's a special U.S. relationship with the U.S. and the Marshall Islands, so well-rounded in that.
Well, we certainly congratulate you guys. I know this is just the first step. The nomination, I believe, still has to be made by the Biden administration, but we want to just give you, your final comments on this recommendation by the congressman. Shelly? Your final comments? Shelly?
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Final comments. I am just elated, and this is an honor for myself, not just for myself, but for my family as well, and the whole island of Guam. And considering, like I mentioned earlier, that this is actually the very first time we have expressed interest in recommending positions, I think that's very vital, and it would bring in more attention to our island. And if it happens that each one of the nominees were chosen, even just one of us, that would be a very great honor for us. It states, that we are very interested in participating in matters that actually is very important to us, our island, to our people, and to the whole nation, of course. And I would just request for prayers and support from the people of Guam and all our colleagues, our families, not just for myself, but of course for the 5 people that the congressman actually recommended.
Mm-hmm. Michelle?
I'm, just truly honored, humbled, and thankful by, to be nominated to serve as the U.S. ambassador for the Marshall Islands, especially, having to be recognized by Congressman Michael St. Nicholas, who has worked so hard for the people of Guam, and I hope that I can do the same for both the Marshall Islands and as well, of course, for the U.S.
Mario? I mean, not Mario. Sorry, you just look. Anthony.
I'll let Mario
Anthony.
speak.
That's his twin brother,
earlier,
everybody.
Earlier, you asked me some questions about my background. I felt to include some things that are important. I attended College of Guam under the Upward Bound program, moved to joined the Navy, and then when I got out of the Navy, I used the GI Bill to go to college. And at San Diego State University, I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. And later on in 1991, I received a master's degree from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, graduating summa cum laude. In my military, I attended Squadron Officer School and Staff Officer School, and most recently the Armed Forces Staff College in Residence. And that basic educational block of has given me insight in how not only the way the military works, but how people within the joint, combined, and allied forces work. And so that gave me pretty good structure to work with the NATO. Having the culminating point of all that is that it prepares you to work with other governments. And I am honored, like Michelle and Shelly are, to have been nominated. We have to face the reality that there are other people perhaps that are well vetted, not necessarily know their island nation better than we do, because I feel that Shelly is inspired and has explained, and so is Michelle, inspired and explained their qualities and how well they know the people. And I think that's important. We need to look at a shift of the paradigm of how nominees get confirmed. You know, it's what's their root connection with the people. And I think that's it's very germane and essential, quintessential to the selection process. And I wish them luck. I wish that we could just become confirmed right away. However, the process, I understand, may take through March. It may take through March. And so stand strong, ladies. I am proud to be amongst these distinguished ladies, Shelly and Michelle. And I look forward to working with them, because I would reach out to their offices and mention this conversation from the beginning, the impetus of all this. And in closing, I want to thank the people of Guam. I definitely want to thank Michael. I know his parents, Dr. Eva, and Michael Sr. We're very related, and I want to bring quality of representation, not only to the United States, but make Guam proud, make the Palauans proud, because we need that affinity. We need strong affinity with the people that we represent. And I believe Michelle and Shelly do have those qualities, and we want to be a threesome going in and make it strong. Congratulations, Shelly. Congratulations, Michelle. Godspeed to all of you. And
do you
thank
see,
you,
guys, that we are so ready to rock it?
Yeah. Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Andy. And Godspeed to all of you.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. And good luck.
Mario,
good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, Shelly.
All right, take care. Happy holidays.
Thank
Be
you
safe.
so much.
All right.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That was Anthony Borja. He was recommended by Congressman Michael San Nicolas to be the U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Palau. Shelly Calvo, recommended to be the U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines. And Michelle Kramer, recommended by the Congressman to serve as the U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Marshall Islands. So congratulations to them. Again, that's just the first step. The Congressman made the recommendation to the Biden-Harris administration, and so I believe they have to make the nomination, and then it goes to the confirmation and hearings and things like that.
I mean, it's one of those things probably going to take a long time. You know how the red tape can be, but they're going to vet all the other recommendations, and you know, it's quite the position. I mean, you know, an ambassador, that's there's a lot that comes with that job, and having to balance the interests of the two nations is pretty important. So
right.
We're definitely looking forward, and we'll be following their careers. And like you said, you know, here first on the link is when it all came together. So when they all get confirmed, you know, you can thank Sabrina
and Andy and Vic.
Well, okay, well, speaking of our happy little enclave here, guys, we do have a little bit of feedback before we get to our next interview, because Allison Hadley from Guam Animals in Need is in the Zoom room waiting patiently. Thank you, Allison. But before we do, would you guys join me, everybody here in the studio? We have a little bit of business to get to. Real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear DJ Joe, sir.
What?
Look at how bashful he is.
Joe, this whole time you never said anything?
I mean, who brags about their own birthday? Well,
I know,
there's several.
right?
Actually, many people do. Like, hey, did you know it's my birthday? Well, Barnett probably would. Hey guys, it's my birthday. Love me, worship me, cherish me. No, but
Stop us some more.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Joe, sir, you are the MVP of this show.
Truly is. I mean, you come in at 5:30 and he's here setting up like 18 monitors, iPad, tablets, phones, just to set up the whole entire show. So he sets it up good, especially when it comes to the best shots possible. He gets it. Every angle, he gets the perfect one. So thank you so much and happy birthday, Joe, sir.
Happy birthday.
And he's also 25 years old, times 2.
I was about to say, like,
happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe. Sir.
All right.
Well, I guess we're going to go into the Zoom room, or you guys want to take a break? Take a break first? Let's take a break first.
BRB.
And then we'll head into the Zoom room with Allison.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace continues on the stations of KUAM and on our webpage at KUAMChristmasPops.com. Catch the encore through December 11th on demand and on the stations of KUAM Communications. The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And J.A. Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
You overcame the challenges of this day and age and showed the world that our spirit of Inafat Malik is unbreakable. Siduas Maasi to all our community partners who helped the KUAM Care Force in giving back this year. And thanks to you especially, the people of Guam. Your kindness and generosity gave hope to so many in need this year. Let Giving Tuesday be the spark that keeps the spirit of generosity going throughout the year.
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack is brought to you by Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
And I always love getting an email from our friends up at Gain about a big donation. So joining us here, we have Allison Hadley. Allison, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
So a lot going on up there at Gain, as we know, and this is 365 days a year. This is all the time. You've got a lot of animals up there, volunteers. So the work is never done. And it's always nice to get a little bit of help from the community. So talk to us about this most recent donation.
So we got this awesome donation from the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam, TECO or TICO. You know, I wasn't familiar with the office, but they emailed us just kind of out of the blue, and they wanted to get involved and have some connection with us. They have a new president, Mr. Chen, and he's been on island just for a couple of months now. And, you know, he has seen the stray dog problem on island, and he had spent some time in LA. And so he, you know, doing some awesome work at some shelters and rescues out there. So he just really wanted to help and introduce himself. And so they donated $500 along with some, you know, supplies and dog food and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was really great to meet them and learn about the office and just sort of create a new partnership in the community. That's always a plus for us.
And I think we've heard that story before. Anytime someone gets involved in shelter work, wherever they go in the world, they get involved in that local shelter. So you've probably seen dozens and dozens of people like that here on island, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the same day that we received that donation, which I you know, we had been in contact, so I was expecting them to arrive. Another group of people showed up, and they had a donation from the company Island Certs. So, you know, it's just people are just always thinking of us, and it's really awesome to just kind of suddenly have these people show up with, you know, goodies for us, and it's nice, and it's nice to have those things happen, of course, during 2020, just because, you know, there hasn't been a lot of
and like I said, you always need the supplies, the donations, the dog food, cat food, litter, toys, things like that. What is the glaring need right now that you're looking at? When you check the warehouse, you're like, okay, we're running a little low here.
Yeah. You know, so right now we're not fully closed, but we are restricted to foot traffic. and none of the adoptable animals are at the shelter. They're actually all in foster homes. But we do receive, emergencies. We're still accepting emergencies. So animals that are sick or injured, of course, if there's a bite that happens, we still have to be able to receive that. So we still do need food to care for animals that might be coming in every so often. So we have noticed that we're a little bit low on dog food. And that is something that, we have to think about in anticipation of opening back up again. We want to be ready for when that happens, because then we're suddenly going to have, all these animals.
You don't want to wait until there's no dog food in the shelter.
So let's... dry dog food is probably a big one. Cat litter is always on that list. Bleach is always on that list.
Let's talk about why the animals are not there. Executive orders, and in 2020, the peak horrors because of the pandemic. Let's talk about what you guys have had to do as far as those executive orders go.
Yeah, so for the safety of our staff and for the safety of the public, we did restrict just public general visitation, and also because we moved all the animals into foster homes because there isn't going to be foot traffic, so there's no visitors, and that's really not beneficial for the animals. They need that social interaction every day, whether it's the staff or the public just coming to say hi, and when they don't have that, that's pretty tough on them. When we went to the first shutdown earlier this year, we stayed closed for those first two, the initial 2 weeks that we all thought it was going to be, and they just weren't getting visits, and you could tell that they were getting kind of stressed out. They were sad, and we just couldn't provide. There's only 5 of us maybe at any time at the shelter. We just couldn't provide that interaction for them. So we know that them being in homes is ideal for their behavior, their mental and emotional well-being, and just to be monitoring their health. That's, it's best for them, and it's great for the people. You see it in the States, people are looking for that companionship. It's a two-way street for sure.
Yeah, it really is. How awesome are your foster families here?
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I know that it's been tough, and for some people, it's not a perfect situation to have a foster animal at their house, but they're still willing to do it. They're still willing to put in that effort and that time and consideration. And a lot of them have ended up adopting. Obviously our adoption numbers have gone down just because the situation's different, but we've still been maintaining pretty good numbers. Animals are still going home every month. So we're really, really thankful and grateful for that. But we are always looking for more fosters. We are still having animals trickle in, and so we hope to have people, always on a backlist, just waiting. So if people are interested, we really encourage them to join the Gain Foster Network Facebook group. You can email us, just message us on any social media. Let us know that you're interested, and we'll connect you to our volunteer coordinator and foster coordinator, and get them set up with somebody, because that's the best route for everyone.
One thing I did want to talk about is it's around Christmas, and sometimes, unfortunately, you see the stories of the Christmas pets that maybe don't pan out. Is that something that you see here on island, or do we not have to worry about that?
I'm sure there's a little bit of that. We do try to share information here and there just about, we're not opposed to people giving gifts. That's actually a question that we have on our application is this pet a gift? And it is kind of an old stereotype that if people receive
all pets are gifts, Allison. They're
yes.
all gifts.
It's true. And a lot of people, they used to say like, oh, if you give an animal as a gift, the chances of them being returned to the shelter are higher. And they've actually done research. The same organizations that used to say that have done research and found that that's not necessarily true. Okay, so you shouldn't be afraid to give the gift, but you just need to be very aware of, the breed of the animal. Is this a small little dog that's going to need a lot of exercise, a lot of playtime? Is that the right fit for the person? So it just needs to be a very conscious decision. If you're going to get a gift, a pet for a small child, do they have the family support to make sure that they're taking care of it? Because, we do hear, a lot of those things, and it's just a matter of like I said, being making a really conscious decision about who you're going to get it for, the type of animal it is, the level of maintenance. That's all very, very important. So
Yeah,
we're not
it all is.
opposed to
It's a big commitment. This is a life that you're taking into your family to be one of your family members. As you can see, my mug here, Cat Dad.
Yes.
Of course, I am a proud Gain father. So I'm part of the family. And normally on this show, Chris would be hosting, and you guys have a little relationship. So let's talk about poop.
Yes. I didn't know the name of the song until it was posted on YouTube. But yeah, he had been speaking with our president Cyrus for a couple of weeks. He had this idea, and he really wanted to film it up there, and we were kind of bummed just because we didn't have animals in the kennels. But our volunteer coordinator has been working with some amazing volunteers, and they've actually power washed and repainted all of our kennels, so they're nice and fresh and clean. So he was able to do the video in front of our nice new kennels, and it was pretty funny to watch him because we couldn't hear what he was singing. We could just see that he's being filmed, and so we were like, "Oh, okay, hope it's great."
You're like, sure, okay.
Yeah, and it turned out awesome. The quality was great. We met his dog, Blue, I believe is the name, and it was nice to see it all come together and shared something positive again on our social media. We also recently shared the prank calls he did to the vet offices about dog hand sanitizer and stuff. That was good.
Well, good. Any way to kind of raise that awareness and keep you guys up there again in the public consciousness, I think is pretty good. So I gotta say, Allison, I'm gonna miss the Gain Christmas party this year with everything and that's going on. For the past few years now, I've been hosting that Gain party, and it's always fun getting the night for the volunteers to get out there, just have a little fun and celebrate the year and talk about goals for the upcoming year. So we will miss it, but we know that your work continues. So again, last time, if anybody does want to help out, contribute, donate, how can they go about doing that?
If they have any items they want to donate or they want to know what type of items, again, emailing us at info @guamanimals.org. They can message us on our Instagram or Facebook and just let us know that they have interest in donating. If they want to foster any of that, just let us know, and we can send you a list of supplies that we really need. We can connect you with all of our coordinators, answer your questions. We understand that it's difficult to to be in constant communication sometimes just because of the way things are. So we do appreciate everybody's patience and understanding with our situation. People have been really supportive. So just let us know what you need, and we'll do our best to assist you.
All right, appreciate it. Hope we get another email soon about a big donation from some local business or something. So we appreciate your time, Allison. I know it's early, but your work up there never ends. So we really appreciate you and all the volunteers.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys too, and always connecting with us. We really enjoy working with you guys.
All right, thank you very much. That is Allison Hadley from Gain Guam Animals in Need, and I believe we've got Cover Me, Vic. What do we got?
Today we got the dolls, and I just want to say this before they come on. If you guys happen to see the Netflix show, the Netflix movie Christmas Drop, and it was so crazy because when they were at the party scene and the music was on, they didn't show the stage yet or who was playing, and I was watching and I was like, they sound so familiar. I'm like, did they get a local band to do this? And then lo and behold, bam, they switched the shot to the stage, and it was the one and only, the dolls, jamming out. And I was like, wow.
Okay, so you know what that means technically. I mean, I follow the movie industry very, very closely. So that means the dolls now they own their own, like Rachel Esteves, right? Their impresario leader. So she owns her own production studio.
Yeah.
She's put out music, so she's got SoundCloud channel, Spotify feed that you can subscribe to and everything. This technically means they have their own IMDb page too, because now they're credited actors.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
No, seriously, you appear in a movie at any level and everything like that. I don't know if you can apply for a Screen Actors Guild credit, but you have your own IMDb, dude.
That's crazy.
They're taking over.
And not only the dolls, but everybody who participated in the movie, the cast. I mean, the supporting cast, the extras. there were a lot of Guam peeps who were on there.
Yeah.
Big Ton was a big part of the movie as well.
Big Ton was in it.
Big Ton was in
You know
it.
what?
He was.
He had a
Yeah,
line
okay.
in the movie. So
Well,
that's,
a lot of people in our comments have told us that they were just, they just happened to be like in an area and somebody said, hey, you want to be in a movie? And so like, hey, if you guys were in the movie, please make sure to sound off in the comments and everything because we'd love to see that. Nestor Lecanto did Info Zoom a couple weeks ago, and he had some of the airmen who were involved with Operation Christmas Drop,
Wow.
the real life thing, and they said they were actually cast in the movie, and they were like, dude, I get to tell my friends I was in a movie.
that's crazy. That's
Did you
a lot
guys
to think.
watch it?
I did. I watched it. I think 2 days after it came out, and I was just like, wow. I mean, the story behind it just amazing. And I was just talking with our photog Carl yesterday, and he was telling me about the whole realignment part, and they followed the whole everything was all true, or they tried to close down things on Guam, and the Anderson base was part of it. I was like, well, I didn't know that. I thought they just added that to the base just to include the Christmas drop, which is one of the longest humanitarian run. Of course, this year not being able to drop in the FSM, but then Palau had like 3 planes drop off a ton of goods to them. So that's it. It was still a win for some of the islands out there. So it's crazy. I also talked with. Sorry, I know we're about to go into the dolls here, but I also talked with my podcast last week with the press secretary of the FSM.
Yes.
So I asked him. I asked him. I was like, so what's the FSM doing? Without the Christmas drop, what's the outer islands gonna have? Because they rely on this every
And they
single
opted
year.
out of
And they
receiving that
opted
this
out.
year.
And especially one of the big decision came from YAP, and I didn't know that. So YAP was one of the big decision makers in this. Because they had most of the outer islands in the count was from YAP, so they said we're just gonna opt out. So I asked them, so what's the local governments doing? Are they gonna ship out goods from the main islands to the outer islands? And they said, yeah, we're working on things to supply them. It's not gonna be the Christmas drop they expected, but it's gonna be something to help them move through the holiday season.
Well, just real quick, how are things going on your home island of Yap? Because there's a lot of people from around the region throughout the Pacific who watch this show, and you're very you keep in touch with your home island.
Yes.
You're very proud, and you advocate constantly, like your heritage, and your language and your history and everything like that. So how are things going in Yap?
Everything is on super lockdown with the travel ban and everything. So they're just just continue to do everyday things without any passengers getting off the flights that are going into the outer islands. But as to everyday daily basis thing, everything is good. They're with training and everything. They're also up to date with the trainings with COVID-19. So they're getting ready just in case the COVID pops up in the States, especially Gap. So
Yeah, because I saw some things when that story came out about the FSM had opted out, and respectfully so, of being a recipient of Operation Christmas Drop, and some people were like, ooh, they just snobbed Uncle Sam, and they didn't that was a very, very tough decision for them to make.
It was.
And
it was.
probably very unpopular with a lot of people, but they did what they had to do to make a tough and unpopular decision to get the thing done.
It was, and especially we're coming
is
up
not easy.
from the governors, and I think the main decision came out from the traditional chiefs back home, because back home we have, of course, the different branches of the government. We have the judicial, the legislative, the executive, but then also we have the traditional that's part of the government. So the traditional made that decision that their islands don't, we don't want to, especially get our people sick. So we'll just kind of opt out.
I believe Palau is in a similar situation where they're a complete lockdown, but I mean,
Yes.
everybody was like, wow, they're doing great out there.
Yeah, and from the FSM president's office, and we even ran the story about how when they did cancel Operation Christmas Drop for the FSM, it was all due to the concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic. And at the same time, when they made that announcement, they also had canceled that repatriation flight
Yes.
for the citizens that are here, I
Yes.
think, in Guam, that have been here because of that travel ban. And so, I mean, there hasn't been an update in terms of when that repatriation flight is going to be rescheduled. But how many? I can't remember what the total number was of.
40. It was. I saw like a 40
Yeah.
plus citizens who were stranded here on
on
Guam.
Guam,
They tried to do. It was 2 phases. The first phase got postponed, and the second phase was supposed to go out on December 5th. taking passengers to Pohnpei, because I think most of the passengers were going to Pohnpei on the flight. So they tried to do some quarantine here before they went off. But then, according to the press secretary of the FSM, some concerns happened in Pohnpei where their senators, the legislative Pohnpei state senators, said they weren't ready. According to the press secretary, he said some of them weren't up to date with some trainings, especially with the ventilators. So they did not want to get people over there, and then just in case they got sick, I guess they weren't ready, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, to your original question, I have not watched Operation Christmas Drop. It's in my queue on Netflix, and sadly I have not.
You should watch it, Jace.
Ironically, I watched Operation Dumbo Drop a few weeks back. That was Ray Liotta and Danny Glover, 1994. Andy's rolling his eyes right now.
You should watch it. And I think everybody on Guam watched it just to see their friends on TV. There were so many.
Did you watch it, Andy?
No, I haven't yet. I've got quite the backlog of things I need to get caught up on, even though I've been working from home for months now. But I'm sure I'll eventually get around to it.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was cute. The gecko.
Yeah, that was.
It's kind of weird.
I've heard about that.
Okay, so everybody. Even though I haven't seen it, I'm aware of what people are asking me about, like on Twitter, on Snapchat. Okay, you have to play judge, jury, and executioner here, Bree. Are the geckos, are they or are they not CGI?
What's CGI?
The gecko in the movie?
Computer-generated imagery.
That was
CGI.
definitely computer.
They're synthetic. Okay.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, it could be CGI, or because I'm no animal expert like Allison was. We just had her on, but I don't believe geckos are the type of creature that you could train to be actors. I don't know if geckos can the Geico thing is that's CGI obviously, but I don't know, Andy. What do you think? You're like.
Well, everything I've heard is that was a CGI gecko. So okay. I don't know if you can train a gecko. That's not something I've really took any interest in knowing. So I don't know, but yeah, that gecko from the movie CGI.
Okay.
Right. Well, this is not CGI. This is
the real deal.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to the dolls.
This isn't CGI. This is IRL.
Or whatever you said, IDMB or IMDb. IMDb. So yeah, we're gonna head out actually because it's right about 8:00. So we're gonna be cutting out of our TV broadcast. So to all of our viewers on KUAM TV, thank you so much for watching. Switch on over to 93.9 The Breeze or over to KUAM News Facebook where we are streaming live. So adios.
People we miss.
I bet it's gone. I have
Christmas.
Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year. See you in 2020.
Up in the Zoom room, so we'll get to them in just a little bit.
I wanted to thank all of our viewers again on KUAM TV. We're going to cut out now from our television broadcast. And again, we invite you to join us on 93.9 The Breeze and on our Facebook live stream. Bye.
Bye, TV 11. Hello, Facebook world. Hello, radio world. Remember, you can always join us here. If you can't join us in the Zoom, you can always call up. The number is 637-0094. Call and join the conversation as we talk to so many guests here today. Talk about different topics as we continue the show here. Of course, with your host, the one and only Sabrina Salas-Matanani. In the Zoom room, Andy Wheeler, Jason Salas, Joe Cern, myself, Victorious. Again, welcome to the show. Minutes away from 8 o'clock in the morning. I guess we're ready for our next
yes,
guest.
we're going to head into our Zoom room now. And we're actually really excited about this here on The Link because we have a new segment that's going to be starting and launching next week. It is Here's to Your Health with American Medical Clinic. And joining us now is Pua Senor. Did I say it right, Pua?
Yes, Senor.
Senor. Well, good morning and welcome to The Link.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Guam.
And so let's just go ahead and get into it in terms of about this new Here's to Your Health segment that we're going to be launching next week.
Yes. So our primary focus, our campaign is really reaching out to our Manumku or our Medicare community and encouraging and stressing, trying to get them healthy, help them stay healthy, maintaining their maintenance care, keeping up with their doctor's appointments, really focusing on their nutrition, on, getting healthy, staying healthy. As we talk, it's, kind of going over it with Dr. Akimoto last evening is he's sharing with me, as he's driving by, we might not see as many Christmas lights as we would normally see during a usual Christmas, but there's so many bikers out there, everybody riding their bikes and, got all the little lights that are flashing from their bikes. And it was very encouraging for him to see. He's like, although it might be a little bit of a damper of a year, it's great to see how much the community has, come, to terms or, and just a new perspective of getting out and trying to stay healthy, stay in motion, and, trying to reduce their risk factors, minimize it as much as possible for not just themselves, but also for others. So it's great to see, and we want to encourage that with our Medicare community, our Manumku community. It's really just an outreach to those who may not otherwise have access to, Facebook, social media. They might not be too savvy with the computer, with the internet, as my dad would say. Trying to also reaching out to their caretakers, their kids, my age, I'm taking care of my dad and, letting them know what they can do, what's a good gift this year for your parents, it's, following up with their doctors, seeing what some of their care options may be. And it is, it's about nutrition. It's getting fit, staying fit, and trying to build that immunity towards, the coronavirus or anything else that, we might come across over the next year.
In the 20 years plus I've been doing 5Ks, hosting them and whatnot, you've just seen this explosion of more people coming out. There's a 5K almost every weekend, at least before the pandemic. And one thing I noticed is the amount of the Manumku that are going to these 5Ks, that are getting up. It's grandma and grandpa, they're out there, they're going at their own pace. So have you seen that the Manumku is taking more of they're getting more into the physical fitness now? What exactly do you think it was that kind of got through the stubbornness that we know of to get them out and to stay fit?
You hit it right on the head. That that cultural stubbornness from a lot of our community. I don't know. I can't help but talk about my dad. He's gonna kill me later. But okay. No, but truly it is, and I think what it kind of came down to is almost that doomsday fear of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, and coming from an era where it was just work from the time of as soon as you were able to walk, it was all about working, till this day where you just shut them down. And they're experiencing cabin fever, they're experiencing hopelessness, kind of it almost a sense of paranoia, because they don't know what's next, because they're so used to foreseeing or forecasting what they're going to do next. I know where I'm going to be tomorrow, I know what I'm going to be doing, as opposed to like, I don't know what to do next, help me.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, taking ownership of your health. It's not just the doctor, oh, he gave me some meds, I'll be fine. You really need to take ownership. You need to take pride in your health, because it's only going to, let you be on this earth for a lot longer, so you can enjoy the grandkids and the great grandkids.
Right. And Pua, also aside from, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go
ahead. I was going to switch topics, because I understand that we're also going to be talking about the government considering the possibility of returning to face-to-face classes. AMC plans to encourage families that, they're up to date with their physicals and their immunizations. If you can talk about that.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And it's not that it was necessarily overlooked. But again, we weren't prepared for this at all, with COVID and what the restrictions were going to be. But, in the event that it does become a reality that the children do go back to school, and it starts to form its course, or its natural course of us returning back to a little bit of normalcy, we do encourage parents, please, get your children their physicals. Please be sure they're up to date with their immunizations. We obviously know that it doesn't just affect, our Manabunko community, but we also know that it comes, it can affect the Manhoban. So it's just to be able to ensure that from, babies to our nanas and tatas, that everybody's covered. And just, again, it's just maintaining that healthy lifestyle and good nutrition, so that we can prosper longer.
Well, thank you so much, Pua, for checking in with us. And we'll see you next week when we officially launch the Here's to Your Health segment. Looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, take care. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, so next week we're officially launching Here's to Your Health segment right here on the link. It's also going to be on KUAM News Extra on Tuesdays with Andy.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, and it's funny that you brought up the Medicare and all that, because I'm only 44, but I am now a Medicare patient. I had to go through the process when my kidneys failed, so I'm learning this as well. So this segment is not only going to help our viewers, but myself as well, because there's a lot of information that I just don't have.
Right.
Yeah, Pua's absolutely delightful too. You can tell she's just a treasure trove of knowledge, and obviously she really loves what she does. And you would assume these days that anything having to do with the name Pua would have a certain amount of popularity to it. But no, she's absolutely great.
Right, and so let's go back into our Zoom room, and we're gonna head over to, I believe it's the Dededo Farmers Market, with Dio Cepanoso. Good morning, Dio. You there? You need to unmute.
Yep. Oh, there he is.
So Dio reached out to me last week. He wanted to come on the show to talk about some of the new developments over at the farmers market. Good morning, Dio.
Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Andy. How you guys doing?
We're doing all right.
Great. You know, it's quite exciting times. I mean, during the COVID era, I guess, it's been in the makings for many, many years of Farmers Cooperative Association of Guam. For short, FCAG, okay? We celebrated our soft opening this past November 30th. It's been a driving force for promotion, development, and relations of growth in the agriculture industry. You know, under the new president, Mike Uggan, he gave us the green light to actually do the designs and create a new store. So we actually used all remnants and pallets, and we created a really beautiful, sustainable store. I believe it's one of the, I've been researching farmers co-op stores from LA and I think we have one of the most beautiful stores that I've seen, okay? The remnants were actually part of a restaurant, and the pallets we actually handpicked throughout the island, okay? When he gave us this green light, we had 2.5 months to actually put the store together. I'll give you a quick tour later, but aside from all that, you know, it gives the farmers, you know, a place to actually sell their products 5 days a week. See, you know, we're open Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 12 and 6, and Saturdays and Sundays, 12 to 3. So Saturdays and Sundays, we give the farmers here sell their wares, and once they close up, we're open. So we're going to try to get this at a regular basis. Hopefully, we can be open 7 days a week within 6 months, but we're just slowly opening. So under FCAG's flag, we have over 62 farmers that come to us. Okay, we just recently had MCAG, Micronesia Chefs Association, last week. Also, we had the governor probably a day after walking our location. Beautiful location. You guys need to come over because you'd appreciate this 100%, man.
Dio, where are you guys located? Are you there in the store now?
Yes, I am. We're located at the farm, the new flea market. It's not the flea market, but it's actually called the Farmers Co-op Market. Okay. Can I give you guys a little tour?
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
Here we go. So basically, let me take this out of here. This is our register. Okay, it's made out of actually a remnant of marble, and the pallets here we handpicked. And what I did is stained it. And as you see back here, this is where we're going to have all the Guam Seal products being sold. Okay, as we pan around, this pylon right here, we're going to create a nunetry that goes all the way up to the ceiling. So we just got approved by CAHA for a grant. This right here is Mungie Pops. This design here was created by Katrina Regis and myself. We shot through Pinterest and decided to go all natural. And this gives a very rustic look for, and actually a nice farm look to the location. So we got 2 chillers back here. As we pan around, you'll see pallets on the wall. And this is a design by Katrina. So we both put our heads together and designed this, but look how beautiful these shelvings are. This was all broken down, you know, pieces of wood. So it took time to put it together, but we got it done. And over here, we have a live plant section. So we sell also propagator items, seedlings. Pretty soon we're gonna be selling seedlings. And as you see, the whole store is all natural. And here's one of the bins I designed. But, you know, this took a lot of time and effort and the creativity. But all in all, I think give this place about 6 months, we'll be able to actually grow. I'm looking at right now, it's at its baby stages, all right. But I mean, with the effort and the green light that Mike Uggan, the president of FCAG, gave us, we're able to do this. So, what do you guys think about our store? Actually, it's your store too.
I think it looks great, and it's going to be a great resource for people for the fresh local produce with the 60-something farmers that you have. I think it's great for the community because we've seen, we talked to Pua about our health. Eating fresh veggies, fresh produce is key. That's a huge part of staying healthy, and I think you guys are going to be a great resource for the island.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because actually, if we go back to the age, to be healthy, you need the vitamins and minerals, and that's what we're really lacking. And most of the produce that we get back in the state is basically give it about 2 months old, hand-picked, trucked over, and you're missing the nutrients. We need to bring back the farming here on island. We need to be sustainable and have a food security. We can't rely on imports. So we need to start off with the garden. Right now, this pandemic actually helped the island, I believe, because majority of the island now they're actually gardening or farming. Okay, I meet people right now that they're just growing their own produce. They can't rely on the produce that you get here on island. That's that's imported. So it's a beautiful thing, and we need to keep sustainability and keep food security on the island.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Dio. Again, for people who want more information, where can they go? Are you guys on Facebook?
Yes, you could go on Facebook, or you could go www.guamfarmers.org.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dio.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Dio.
Okay, we're gonna.
Thank you.
Okay. And from the farmers market.
I just had to go to Facebook and add the Guam Farmers Market.
Right. And from the farmers market.
I want some salad now, man.
Okay, so that's what you're getting us for lunch.
Thank you. Salad for everybody. Fresh veggies, guys.
Thanks, Jace.
We're doing that.
From Dededo, we're going to head over to Adelup, where we have the Lieutenant Governor doing his weekly check-in here with the link. Good morning, LT.
Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, Andy. Congratulations.
Good morning, LT. Good to see you.
Congratulations on your wedding.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
He also got his ring.
We didn't want to have the huge invite list, so during a pandemic, it was probably the best time.
I'm very proud of you. I think that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I guess LT, let's just go ahead and start it with you, just giving us, I guess, the latest update and the latest things you're working on.
Well, as you know, the governor made the announcement. We're continuing to make progress. We're very optimistic, but I guess we're just to the people of Guam, let's not screw this up. Let's just continue to make the progress. And Sabrina, I know that you and Chris have been talking about trying to keep this under 5, right? And that's a big thing. So, we're going to have more opportunities to do things, but I just say take baby steps, really. I was a cousin called me last night to let me know that her husband was exposed at work, right? So she was just kind of asking me about, where's I was directing her to the public health website for, the latest guidance. So the virus is still out there. And I might remind people that when we were doing well in August, a couple of people from off island brought it into some super spreader. And unfortunately, unknowingly, at these funerals, they became super spreaders, and we had just a long run of pain and suffering and fear. So we're in a better place for sure, and we're very optimistic with everything's happening. But I would just tell people to be very balanced about this and still take the precautions, because it can flip on us at any time. You're seeing it happening around the world. In Europe, in Asia, Japan, and Korea are starting to take more measures. So my ask is just continue to be patient. This vaccine is coming. It's going to be with the healthcare workers first, but it's going to be months until we get the level of coverage that we need, right? I mean, this is still a lot of people still have to get the confidence, find out more information about making that decision on whether or not to get vaccinated. But these are all not going to be happening overnight. It's going to take a little bit more diligence and sacrifice. Everybody's been making a tremendous sacrifice on the island. Some people making more sacrifices than others, but still, it's we just need to kind of hold things steady and keep going as we continue to try and roll things out. So Sabrina, I've been working on the last week, and I've been working closely with Superintendent John Fernandez on education rollout and really coming up and supporting them on their operations plans to provide parents that choice for face-to-face. I also met with Superintendent of Catholic Schools last week. I have a regular meeting now with him, just trying to make sure with the big groups of students, working also with the UOG president and the GCC president on their plans also, and all the guidance that public health is going to be giving them. And then the rest of the schools, there are a whole bunch of them, charter schools, private schools. So different sectors of our administration are contacting them or have worked with them, probably working more. We had some meetings last week, but there's still a lot of outreach and movement on that front. So a few things I guess we'll be working on in particular with the school systems is, how to respond when a case comes on campus. What are the mitigating measures that can be taken for their school staff to reduce the occurrence of any infection? That would include having them think about employee health screenings on a daily basis prior to coming into work. With Department of Education, it's working out their contact tracing strategy. I just talked with GCC president and UOG president about the same thing. And then we're working on trying to make sure that we understand and help develop with them perhaps some testing, serial or random testing that can occur while we open our facilities, all trying to mitigate the occurrence of COVID on campus or trying to prepare them for how to deal with an infection if it gets on campus through an employee or through a student. So that's one box. And then the other thing that we're working on, Sabrina, is the support for distance education. So I think that Superintendent and I, our teams are working and pushing this through the legal process, Attorney General's office working on some of the procurements and approving those things. And when we're ready to launch, we'll be coming on to let you know together. That's what our thinking is, and kind of forecasting what's going to be happening out there. So it not only would be, what we're looking at is providing support into the homes for all the public and private and charter school students, but it also is supporting PBS and expanding their PBS University partnership with Department of Education, and then getting on school branch libraries, GovGuam library branches and DYA resource centers, and pushing in additional technology to support the distance ed. So that's kind of like on the education front that I'm working on. And then of course, keeping my eye on all the other response and recovery things.
What is the update on the vaccine? Is there anything new? The last we got was it's expected to arrive, I guess, any day now. But have you heard anything new as of this morning?
I think we will get something new this morning. The governor has some calls that she's on this morning with some federal officials giving some updates. I expect that we're going to see an update. We'll get some updates today. I'll find out when I head into our operations meetings, but I'm based on, there's a flurry of activity going on both in the States and then phone calls here. wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be giving you an update today on where things stand with the vaccine delivery coming into Guam.
Well, and has there been any changes to that distribution, the different phases, the phase 1, the phase 1A, that was announced last week?
Right. No, I think the issue now is within those categories, it's going to be about organizing the different pools of people that are in the different categories. So, of course, the 1A, we know that it's the healthcare workers, right? And the priorities within that side. But when it comes to essential workers, I believe that the vaccine commission or the vaccine committee will be working on the orders within the essential worker categories. There are requests coming in from the judiciary, from the mayor's council, from different agencies, from nonprofit partners, perhaps that are involved in frontline activities. All those categories of employees still need to, within that group, will also have to be now prioritized within those groups and organized. So I would say that's an active effort, because they're also concurrently, they're talking about the methods of distribution. And I know that public health is working, at least I was informed yesterday, that they're working on refining their strategies for all these pods. They're calling them pods, right? Where they'll distribute and how those will be operated. So I think that's an active discussion going on. And I think more details, Sabrina, for sure will be coming out when they're finalized in very rapid time, I'd say. Because as you can see, we saw from national news media, we're very happy seeing the first vaccinations being performed on healthcare workers. It started out in the East Coast, and it's working its way out to the West and out to us. So I'm excited about that, but also know public health has a tremendous job to do with the medical community to inform our public about the vaccine, about the potential side effects that may be occurring in the vaccine, which I would say are quite minimal compared to the thought of being in the ICU on a ventilator, right? But the key thing is people will have a choice and will have to make the decision. And I think where we need to step it up, and this is going to be important with the partnership we have with you, more information, easy information for the general public to understand about the vaccine. They don't have it yet, because it's still new and public health is still developing and working actively on their strategy. But I think that's going to be a critical thing, is getting people comfortable and knowledgeable enough to make the decision for themselves on whether or not they're going to get vaccinated. Right. And so we've asked, there's a poll out there, we've asked Department of Education, Catholic Superintendent of Schools, we're reaching out to the private and charters to identify school-based staff for that. And of course, we wouldn't be able likely to get to school-based staff in this first round based on the numbers. But I think the other thing we'll be looking at this week and the next few days is the next vaccine that will undergo the FDA process, and the Moderna vaccine, which is going to be a larger number of doses that will reach into that next category for sure.
Is there any update on the homeless shelter? Anything new?
Yeah, so we have a meeting tomorrow internally in the government of Guam to really try and get all eyes on procurement. I mean, we need to find another shelter, but on top of that, it's been almost 6 months since we've been up at Global, and some families may have been there for 6 months in a room. It's not, it's fine for stabilizing people. It's not a long-term solution for them. We need areas that the children will have, some place for recreation. We need to be able to support the families. And the Global situation, although we've been able to set it up to get them off the streets, large number of them, they're still street homeless that are still not in. That's kind of like the imperative we have, but we need to find more suitable accommodations. And I think that's, we have a refresh on that going on right now. Sarah Thomas Nedadog is going to be leading that effort. She is organizing and reaching out to a lot of the public, the nonprofit partners. So that's part of it. But then on the other side of it is our last meeting, we were following up. There's a lot of casework going on to get people out of the dorms and into transition homes. And then we're also preparing, there's still people, I have to tell you, Sabrina, every day my office has been reached out to by families that are dealing with situations, everything from what it looks like to be a illegal or inappropriate eviction, right? That's something active that we're looking at, to people that we're finding, in Sinahanya, we found a mother and a toddler out there, and just learning the details, right? And I'm just so surprised or disappointed, I'd say, that there's this breakdown of family, right? Where normally, right, you would be able to lean on some family, and there's a lot of serious situations out there that require help. I'm optimistic though, because a few families were able to reconcile and move out of the dorms and into homes where they had extended family that found out and reached out, and others are getting waivers or vouchers to get into longer term housing. It's something that I think is going to there's going to be more movement on this for sure, because it's just we're at a point on the island with these numbers where it's still manageable. It's complicated, but it's manageable. I don't feel as hopeless as I do when I go to LA or when I get that volume. And last week we also had a chamarita named Amber Leon Guerrero, who works in Hawaii. She's been working on the homeless front. She's a granddaughter of the late Governor Guerrero, and she came for her dad's funeral, but she attended the meeting just to kind of talk about some of the issues we're seeing on island, but they're seeing in Hawaii. And this one is a lot of folks from the freely associated states are going in for medical referral, and when they're done, there's no discharge for them, and they're ending up being discharged into the streets, including Chamorro families that are out there in Hawaii getting medical attention but have nowhere to go, and then end up getting on the street. So it's also pointing to some problems that we have, and trying to make sure as much as possible you can get access to on-island medical care so you can have that support system. Different elements going on for sure.
Right. But the CARES Act funding I thought was being used to fund the global dorm. And so at the end of the month, when, we're no longer going to have a CARES Act funding, you had mentioned last week that you were requesting from the Department of the Interior to use a portion of, I think it's $12 million. And I'm not sure if it's to continue this global dorm shelter or to go somewhere else. Where are we with that?
It's both, Sabrina.
Okay.
It's both. So, there's that even we're in the public health emergency, even if we're out of the public health emergency, we're going to have a shelter for sure. Right now we have we are tapping resources that we have available to us that are non-Gov Guam resources. But when we stabilize things and we see this through, I'm certain that we're going to have some government of Guam support for sure. There are some permanent federal funding sources that play different roles and have played different roles, but we have an obligation to maintain and expand this posture. We have a challenge to make sure we can sustain it. We need to keep down costs. We need to make sure that we don't fall into some of these rental traps that I've been talking about for months now.
Yeah.
And getting into places that we would never afford long term. But we have an obligation, and it's our commitment to make sure that we're not going to recede. What we have has to be improved, and it has to be expanded. And especially given the we're optimistic right now about the situation with the progress we're making, but there's still a long-term economic situation that we're dealing with and we have to deal with. And we have to have these outlets. We have to have programs. It steps up what we need to do, our job within the government, throughout all the different agencies and their different scopes, to help with the crisis that we're dealing with, because we are in a crisis. And although we're optimistic, it's not going to be overnight for us to get back to where we were 1 year ago. One year ago, right? We were all in the holidays. We're preparing for, I can't imagine, 2020, yay, it's a new decade, and look at where we are now. Jeez, can't wait to get this year behind us.
Exactly.
Forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted.
Remember we were talking about, hey, we'll have a delayed Easter. We're even trying to make sure we have Easter coming up.
Are you tracking?
Oh, how foolish we were.
Are you tracking some of the things that are going on down at the Guam legislature? There's the RISE Act. They made several amendments to the bill. I think it's giving the governor transfer authority for some $30 million for these financial assistance payments to the people of Guam, and I believe it excludes GovGuam employees, federal employees. Do you have any comment on the RISE Act?
Well, I would just say that obviously there's a need to provide aid to people, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess we'll just have to look at the details. Whenever, like when Senator Amanda Shelton, prior to that, pushed in a program for those folks left out of the first stimulus, right? We went in to partner and find a way to get the help that they need. And in this case, I have to see what the latest language is. I haven't seen it since we started the work week, but I'll just say that, we try and follow the intent. We do the best job we can. We agree that people need more help. We just need to make sure that we get the right areas or right pockets of aid to get through. And we'll also have to see what happens with the Congress. It looks like we're very optimistic with the Senate. They've split the aid packages into two. So the one for business, for aid to business and aid to the unemployed, looks like it's going to happen in the next few days. The other one with additional help for the states and territories is the one that is in dispute, along with the limitations on liabilities for employers or places of business. And that seems to be almost like a toss-up with maybe a lean on for a pass. We'll see how it's going on. It's very complicated, but I do have to say the governor has been reaching out to, and we've been reaching out to our counterparts. Our national organizations are in the mix, really pushing the Congress to try and provide help. The congressman and the governor have been speaking and been working together, which has been very positive, I would say, and I appreciate that effort to make sure that we're covered. We've also been working with, of course, Congresswoman Bordalio is still out there, and she's been pushing it along with help from up north in the Northern Marianas, with the other congressional delegate in our area, Kilili, and the others. So there's a good movement. I tell you, the governor spoke last week with Senator Mazie Hirono from Hawaii. She spoke with Governor Ige. She's been talking with Governor Cuomo's staff, making sure and sort of tag teaming with the congressman to make sure that every single entitlement program that is going to be proposed is including Guam and the rest of the territories, so that we're not left out. And I have to say that I have seen good teamwork on this. I'm very happy about that. And it's definitely the right times. We're in the spirit of giving and spirit of the holidays. Time to unify and just, kind of make sure we deliver for the people.
Well, speaking of the congressman, have you had a chance to see all of these recommendations he's been making to the Biden-Harris?
Yeah, I have. Yes, I have. I'm happy that he is reaching out to local people to try and get these slots. They're coveted, pretty competitive. And, for me, the more people that we are able to involve in the federal government at all aspects, I think is a good thing. So I'm not sure where it goes next. It is in the beginning of a transition, as I know. You don't always get to. It takes weeks, months, sometimes to find the right people for the right jobs.
Right. And I guess I just wanted to know if you had any comment on what's been going on in the debate between the Cannabis Control Board and tourism officials concerned about the possibility of, being able to open up shops that sell, marijuana down in Tumon. Does Adeline have any position?
Yeah, no, you know what? We haven't reconciled those yet, at least for me. And I have to talk with the governor about that. I've been seeing some articles. I've been seeing both sides of it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some articles about the situation in Korea and Japan, and in particular Korea, which have put out warnings, to a lot of their residents and their travelers. But I guess I would just say we follow what happens in Canada and the rest of the states. I mean, they have had legalized marijuana in several states and the entire country of Canada for some time now. And those are two big source markets for, and Korea and Japan are big source markets for tourism for them. So, we probably just need to be very careful, make sure that, we don't undermine our reputation as a family destination. And at the same time, make sure that access to all of that is in the correct places. So it comes down to probably some regulations and rules, and make sure that we don't have an unintended consequence. I'd say that we have to be very carefully looking at, and in many ways guided by GVB. They've been running tourism for more than 40 years, actually almost 50 years. We're all getting old. But the reality is that we have that this is legal, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if the federal government takes steps to legalize marijuana in the next term. I mean, you have significant key members of key Republicans in the Congress, like Alaska Congressman Don Young and others. The former Speaker of the House, John Boehner, is the chief lobbyist for cannabis industry. We're going to see some national changes. So just have to probably approach it in terms like what they're talking about regulations, make sure that, we also don't have these shops. We have to think about our kids too. Yeah. Make sure that we restrict access and we regulate that so that children, people under 18 do not have access to this. Actually, probably under 21, you think about it, since, the brain still is developing for some of the younger adults. So, we also, whatever steps we take, we have to also enable the industry on Guam, but make the necessary protections and safeguards for the kids. It's all going to be a balance. So I'll get into it, Sabrina, and here's the details, but I would say I would weigh what GBB says very heavily in how we want to roll this out.
All right. Thanks, LT. Any final comments?
No, I just wanted to say I've been seeing the Instagram and seeing all the submissions of all the pictures, and I have to say some of them are nice. Let me just show you mine. Somebody came up and...
Oh wow! Did you do that?
I didn't. It was. It was done without me, but you know what?
One more time. People in the comments, LT, are asking, can they see it one more time? They want to take screenshots.
So pretty.
And the reveal. Wow.
Actually, you know what? I'll have to tell you, I'll have to get the names of the people who did it for you, because the chief of staff coordinated that. But I will take a picture, or next week I'll show you mine from home.
All right.
I'll come a little late, and I will stay. I'll take my call from home next week so I can show you guys.
I don't think you're eligible for the prize money, though.
I'll show people what Matt and I did at our house.
Does it have?
And I think during the pandemic, you know, with this year, everything that everybody's been through, we really need this, and just being able to share the decorations, it just brings a little bit more of that Christmas spirit into everyone.
Hey, okay, before I go, just on the light stuff. And so I'm just curious, have you guys picked up any new culinary skills during the pandemic? Have you been
I eat a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Sabrina, you look better than you did 10 years ago, and you look good back then. So I think you haven't been really eating that much.
Eat a day.
No, Andy, what are you cooking?
Everything, trying to mix it up.
I'm gonna brag on what I'm doing, but I just want to hear what. So I'll brag and say I've cooked 8 different Indian dishes.
Wow.
So to little free, I know they didn't do advertising, but I'm impressed with Pamika Cells and all of the, you know, they have a whole, if you want to cook, you can get everything there, spices and stuff. And then lately I've been cooking Mexican food.
Ooh.
So I make
that's
pizzas. JQ's over there laughing because I never gave him any yet. But
I was gonna say, you can't tell us about all the food you're making and not share. That's kind of rude.
You know what? That's a good challenge. I'll send something to you guys before the holiday.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
And let's stay in the Zoom room where
the very hungry John Canata.
Yeah, my mouth was watering when I was saying all that.
Yeah, Mexican food, man. I love Mexican food. Oh my goodness.
What, JQ, how spicy do you like to go? Are you like full on nuclear level pica, or?
My mouth is not a chamorro. My stomach cannot take spicy. So it's every time I order, my wife and my daughter are the spiciness is on the side so they can add it on. I'm just the regular type of guy because my stomach cannot take it.
I didn't know you were panty. Oh my god.
Oh
my goodness.
And you know, Bree and Jason, when we were growing up in elementary, we were having contests on who can eat the hottest Doni Sali and drinking the Tabasco. So that didn't bother me, but it bothered me when I got to be an adult, and it affected me. So yeah, it's weak. My stomach's weak.
I just don't like my food to be painful, so I kind of try to limit the heat.
I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I don't really eat spicy food either, but you know. So JQ, what's going on at the airport? Good morning. So there are a couple new positives over there?
Yes, just over the weekend we had a couple employees that tested positive, and one of the employees, asymptomatic, and the wife convinced him to go get a test with her, and lo and behold, he came out positive and stuff. So. And then the other employee has been on sick leave for other reasons, and so he hasn't been to the agency or the office for at least 3 weeks. So his exposure is very, very limited because he hasn't been to work. But the other ones that we got. Through contact tracing and stuff, the exposure to the employees at the airport was also very limited.
Right. Yeah. When you say it's asymptomatic, it's like, okay.
Right.
A little bit concerning there. So how many?
Kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. He went to go with his wife, and the wife just convinced him to take it, and he turned out positive.
Yeah. Was the wife experiencing symptoms? Or she just wanted to...
You know, at this time, I don't know. I don't know her status and stuff. I just know the employee status. So contact tracing, definitely from public health, will probably include her.
Right. How many total employees have tested positive over at the airport?
Okay, so that too brings the total up to 14.
14, wow.
That's just GIA employees, Sabrina. We do have other tenants that are here. For example, CBP, TSA that are here. Of course, the Black Construction Company was a big one for us. So those are the, the airport. It's not just airport employees. We have other folks that have got positives that are associated with the airport, but not working for the airport.
Have you guys changed any protocols? You know, the governor just eased some restrictions. Has anything been eased over there?
Not at the airport. Yes, she eased some restrictions as far as congregating, 5 to 10 and stuff. But as far as the airport, we're still on PCOR 1. And so we are still doing our operations, our entry control points as PCOR 1 is concerned. So limited for only passengers and employees and folks doing business at the airport to enter into the airport.
What about any word on rapid testing? I think the last time we talked, you were waiting for some sort of guidance or from the surgeon cell, right?
Right. So we've gone beyond that. The surgeon cell, GIA, GVB, all the stakeholders, public health, of course, the biggest one. So we've did our walkthrough 3 weeks ago, and we've got out our floor plan to make sure that they have the space available once they've decided what we're going to do. So really, the ball is in public health's court to decide where they want to put their testing equipment or test kits that when passengers do come in. The airport is giving whatever space that they need, whatever space requirement, whatever footprint that they have. We are going to accommodate to make sure that we can try and expand the testing for folks that are arriving on island. So as soon as public health gives me what direction they want to go, we would execute.
Right. Where you said that you kind of have an idea where the site would be? This testing.
So the ideas that we got in is for example a individual, and this works if these people were to fill out their health declaration forms before they arrive, and they'll do it online. And so by the time they arrive on island, public health will have it in their system. They'll just put out like a password or a passcode, and they'll have their system in there. So right when they come in the before they get to the baggage area, there's an area in the back in the customs baggage area that we will have a place for them to get swabbed or to check if they got their test already. And then they'll go into the line. They got their tests already. They'll go and get their baggage, and they'll go through the public health processing line. If they haven't got their tests and they filled out the online forms, they'll come in, they'll get swabbed, and then hopefully by the time they get their baggage and then they get through the line and get to the processing area, that they'll get the results by then. So. Yes, definitely. That's what the plan is. I'm just waiting for public health to do it. Now, mind you, the kits or the testing kits that are here are not. These are the ones that are sent by the CDC.
Right.
So these test kits are the ones that are no charge to anyone that's coming in. Because it's sent by the federal government, so there will be no charges. It'll be free of charge.
So you airport has been given I guess the green light by public health to use those Binex Now test kits? Cards?
The airport hasn't got any test kits at all. It's run by public health. All we are the facility managers. We provide the facilities. Public health will provide the processes, the operations.
Mm-hmm. What about the vaccine, JQ? Are you, your staff, where are you in the line in terms of the different phases that public health rolled out?
FAA has already given us the guidance and the directive that whenever we receive word that the vaccines were to come in, that would be priority. If a aircraft were to be carrying the vaccine, that vaccine will become a top priority to get it offloaded and expedited out of the airport area. So once we get word that it's coming in and is confirmed, the airport, customs, the airline, whether it's the airlines or the cargo handlers, we would expedite those.
I think you're frozen. Okay, you there? So we are having a little bit of a technical difficulties. Jakey was talking about the FAA and the protocols when the vaccine lands on Guam. And so, are you there?
Yeah, there.
All right. So, Jakey, you said that FAA has some protocols for GIAA for the vaccine arrivals?
Right. So, going back again, FAA has already given us the guidance to ensure whatever protocols we need to do, whatever manpower we need to do. What? I guess I'm frozen.
No, you're fine now. You're fine now.
Okay, I'm fine now. Okay. So FAA has given us guidance and given us a directive to make sure that once we know that the vaccine is coming in on a particular aircraft, air cargo aircraft, or what, that priority is given to that. We will make sure that customs, airport, the cargo handlers, to make sure that is expedited out and to the people that are supposed to receive the vaccines as quick as possible.
So what time is it arriving today?
I'm sorry, I don't have confirmation on that. I don't have confirmation on when it's coming in, and until such time I get that, then the media would probably be told.
Okay, so I'll just be harassing you for the next couple of days. No,
I'm pretty sure, Bria. I'm pretty sure that once the word is given out that can be mediated, that you guys will be a part of the process.
All right. What about in terms of like getting the vaccine? You and your staff, are you guys in the line in the different phases? Well, where do you fit in?
We've submitted our tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 listing. And of course, our folks, the frontliners, our airport police, our firefighters, our airport operations are part of our priorities, because we do meet the passengers every day. And so that's part of it. However, I leave it up to public health to prioritize who gets it first. And we'll be anxiously waiting our turn whenever our numbers come up. I've already sent out, and a lot of the folks are letting us know whether they want to take the test or they don't want to take the test. It's not a mandatory thing for our folks to take the vaccine. So.
Yeah, what a GMH, Lillian was saying that she did a survey, a poll with her staff, and I want to say she said 70% were willing to take the vaccine. What about over at GIAA?
I would think that it'll be consistently like that. I mean, nationwide, a lot of the first responders are averaging about 70% of their their organization. So I would say it would be conservative to say that we'll be tracking about that percentage also. So.
All right, JQ, any final words for the community?
Hey, happy holidays to everyone. Please keep safe. Stay within your bubble so that we can make sure that we get through this year and stuff. I've had relatives, I've had friends that have passed away to COVID. So yeah, it hits the heart real quick.
Well, thanks for coming on this morning and checking in with us. And like I said, I'll be harassing you so that we can get some shots of this play.
I tell you, if I get word that it's confirmed, I'll make sure that I'm pretty sure Crystal will get a hold of you guys.
All right. You take care. Happy holidays.
All right. So happy holidays.
All right. We're gonna take a break, and we will be back with more. I believe we have the Agate Mayor, Kevin Siswico. So we're gonna get to Kevin.
And he is dressed to the nines today.
It's picture day.
He is looking sharp.
Wow.
So we'll be back right after this.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details, and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
I invited them onto the show to just do a little holiday check-in and see what they're doing to keep spirits bright. amid this pandemic. Good morning, gentlemen.
I can barely hear it, sis.
Good morning, Hafidi.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Al? No. Good morning. Okay, so is everything okay on this end?
Yeah, it's good.
Can you hear me, Alan? No.
Yeah, Mayor Allen, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys slightly. I'm trying to get another speaker. Kindly hold, please.
Okay, let's go to Mayor Kevin.
Stand by. How you doing, Andy? How you doing, Andy? How you guys doing there?
Can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
My colleague Sabrina, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. You guys look so nice today. It's picture day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holiday picture day.
It's for the new Mayor's Council?
Class picture.
Yes.
The class.
Today is our official photo day.
So
some of us.
For some of you guys. So yeah,
some actually have taken their photos yesterday, and so the rest of us will be taking our photos today.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I had reached out to some the southern mayors, and they're all like, "Oh, it's picture day. I'm gonna be on the road, so I can't make it." I think it's Mayor Ernest. He's driving all the way up from Maritza, so he couldn't make the 9 o'clock hour. So let's talk about what you guys are doing to celebrate the holidays. Mayor Speaker, I know you sent me the pictures of the Christmas lights. I swear, every year I think you guys just outdo yourselves. So nice.
Yeah, so again, thank you for having me on the show this morning. And, every year we have our annual Christmas lighting display. And so the Vice Mayor and I decided with our MPC and the staff to actually deliver the Christmas spirit a little bit early. Instead of December 8, I believe, or December 7, we've actually lit up our parks a little early. On a normal year, we would have had, the kids from the different schools come, our Manumco come and celebrate with us, and just kind of have a really nice display. But because of the COVID, we went ahead and just lit the islands and the Hoggett Memorial Park, so that way everyone can enjoy it. I mean, there was just too many words going around about Christmas is canceled, and it just kind of broke our hearts down here. So we want to deliver the lights and have everyone come and enjoy, not only for the municipality of Agate, but for everyone that wants to come down. Mm-hmm. And so we have that, and then we still have our annual candy run, Christmas candy run, and Santa will still be on the fire truck, and we'll be doing that this Friday, beginning from 4:30 to until we basically go around the entire village, spreading that cheer. So it's just our way to give back to the community and know that there is still a reason for the season, right? And we need to celebrate the birth, right? And and really pay that respect.
Right. And that's nice that you guys are still keeping that holiday tradition. When I spoke with Mayor Ernest, he was telling me how they're still going to do the angel tree with the U.S. Coast Guard. And for anybody that's ever been to Maritza to see that, it really is just you're overcome with emotions. I rode on the Coast Guard boat. They had collected all of these toys, and they had Santa on board the boat, and we we rode all the way down to the Maritza Pier and delivered the gifts to the people in Maritza. And so, yeah, it's just good to hear that you guys are still maintaining the holiday spirit despite everything we're all going through. And for you, Mayor Ngata, can you hear me?
Yes, Bree. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, KUM. My colleague as well. Good morning, and Merry Christmas to all of you guys and your staff. And a big hands off, of course, you guys, as well as promoting and bringing a lot of changes into place and us adapting to celebrating Christmas. Thank you.
You know what? Well, I called you yesterday, and I was talking to you about what I had seen. It was all over social media. I was kind of surprised about it. You guys had Was it a tree lighting with the Christmas tree that was up, and then the Christmas tree was stolen?
We had a lighting on Friday. Earlier that morning, we had a thief at the commodities distribution. So of course, with the support, of course, the community, the numerous volunteers, the staff, the MPC, and the parishioners, and of course, a whole combined effort got it ready throughout the week for the lighting on that day, Friday. Apparently, somebody needed the tree more, which is where I'm at now, like saying, to celebrate the days moving forward, think admirable and be consensus and at least more. Initially was the awareness part of it, because the safety aspect too of something that's lit, and if somebody were to go there, somebody could have got shot. I'm just concerned about the safety, but for more or less, we need to look at the other side too, where how can we better Christmas for everyone else? And I just like to put a big shout out to the community at large and everybody that's been making a difference, and even Giving Tuesdays and all these other nonprofit organizations this is the time most of all right now where we should try to embrace that and try to get together collectively and find out how can we help people that are in need.
Right. And so how has COVID changed how Manilao celebrates and your office celebrates Christmas?
Well, the challenges are there. So in the past, of course, we always unite efforts with the church side, and they normally have the parade and then the Christmas lighting. So this year coincided with the church, like I said, once again, with the parishioners and the church. We had a lighting where you drive through the right side of the church between the social, and you come in and then you go around the park, and then you got the other side of the park. So we gathered to put these all together so we could, within the public health orders, to keep the crowd within the bare minimum, drive by. We passed out candy, so it was successful, of course, with the efforts of the vice mayor, the current vice mayor, and the vice mayor elect as well, Mr. Delgado.
I'm sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought. With the Christmas tree and the fact that someone may have stolen it, it kind of is, a sign of the times of the financial hardships that our community, our entire island is facing. And even when I think about what might happen at the end of the month when the CARES Act funding is no longer there, and I've asked this to some of your other colleagues, how are you preparing if we don't see any federal funding come down to help our people? How are you preparing to see what could be, this explosion of, more people that are out here homeless, more people that are out here hurting? How concerned are you guys about what might happen come January?
Is that directed to?
It's directed to both of you. I mean, you guys are always doing the food distribution, right? And I mean, you could see more people if we don't have any federal assistance.
Bree, to answer that question, the times it's not just getting hard, it's already been hard throughout this year. And so, down in our area, and I'm sure throughout the rest of the municipalities, we're all trying our best to brace for what's to come, For us, we've already reached out to our sister city commands from the 36th Wing, from down here at the naval base with Captain Grimes, and we're getting them engaged to see if there's any, if they would like to help donate, whether it's their canned food drives or things like that, something that we can already have on hand. As a matter of fact, we were just speaking with the church. Every year the churches go out on Thanksgiving Day and they ask for these food drives. And so we reached out to them and said, hey, if there's anything, instead of giving the food out of the community, I'm not saying to be, to just hold it, but if we do have the need here in the community, which we know that there's going to be a need, maybe we should kind of spread that love down here, and and help one another out within the community. And then, of course, reaching out after. But we can see it down here. I mean, Mayor Allen, that Christmas tree that was stolen is very unfortunate. And, you know, we go through those type of situations where, you know, we want to do something nice for the community, but on the flip side, you know, we kind of worry about things that we put out. And so, you know, like the vice mayor and I were walking through the park just to make sure everything was in place. And we found out that one of our snowmans was taken. You know, I mean, you know, again, we remind the community that, you know, that things that we put out from our offices are actually for all to enjoy, you know, and when you start to remove things that are placed there, it's makes the experience at least a little less, right? And so we try our best with the little resources that we have to put forth to make sure that, you know, we are spreading the spirits and we are, you know, keeping everybody, you know, uplifted during this time. But these, you know, as a reminder again, what happened with, you know, Brother Allen up there, you know, that was very unfortunate. I mean, the snowman that was down here was just a really small one, but still, again, it was part of the display, right? So. Yeah.
And I wanted to ask both of you.
Anybody coming over to take pictures and enjoy the park? I'm sure the rest of the municipalities don't mind that either. But you know, let's just respect one another and the you know and the you know the work, the art that was created for all to enjoy. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask both of you. We know times are tough for everybody, and you as mayors, you're right there with the people of the village, and you have a great sense of how everyone is feeling. So with everything going on and the Christmas season, how are you, what's the sense of the spirits of the people that you're getting in your village?
Well, it's alive and well. And in fact, even with the regards to the cause right now, you know, people were sharing just the other day when Bria talked to me. Hey, you know, KUM's putting out a $4,000 for the nicest home. So a lot of people spend a lot of time too decorating, and that's why I'm saying it's for the sole purpose of awareness, and at the same time we still want to promote the birth of Christ and what Christmas is all about for these little kids that look forward for a lot of things. And we both, my colleagues from Agate Mayor and his vice, we all do our best. And I know that within our constituents and our community on a level, they have a lot of big hearts, huge hearts here. And I mean, you know, there's throughout this pandemic and moving forward, which we were just discussing, we're getting people that want to remain anonymous, want to reach out and ask us, even with the church, the level of the community side, that is there something we can do? Do we know families that are in need? So we do work behind the scenes to get these families and kids. And these people want to remain anonymous once again, but there's a lot of big hearts here in our community and island.
Yeah. And you know, and it's the same down here, you know, in Agate. Again, the vice and I, our MPC and our staff, you know, we're constantly looking at ways to, you know, to make sure that we're moving forward. Whether it's, you know, to host as much canned food drives as we can, or the commodity giveaway, you know, deliveries or handouts. Or, you know, even to organize, you know, thankfully we were able to organize the 1 week testing down here to make sure that everyone is, you know, is safe. And so we try our best to, you know, again, ensure and reassure our community down here that, you know, we're here. You know, even during this difficult time, the mayor's offices have never closed, you know, not one day to, you know, to act and say we need to protect our people, other than the municipalities, so, you know, that was unfortunate that, you know, they caught COVID, but the rest of the mayor's offices, you know, stayed open all the way through, you know. So whether it's a typhoon or any kind of disaster, and just like this COVID, where it was unexpected, we're still here with our staff, you know, day in and day out to, again, show our people that, you know, we are here. We're here for you, and we're right alongside, you know, with you.
And having said
nobody
that,
can deny how tough the people of Guam are, and we all come together in times like this. Mayor Ngakta, you mentioned donations, you know, people reaching out. What is the need at the moment, if there is one at the mayor's office, that if people have a little extra, they can donate?
currently, like with what's going on, I know it's the demand too is food, personal hygiene. So I just like to share too with everyone that on Monday we're also going to have the second distribution of the TFAP food from 8:30 to supplies last. So we're going to go ahead and do that again on Monday. This next week, Monday from 8:30, like I said. So we have some people concerned, and also sometimes people are very humble to the fact where they're mamalo or ashamed, and sometimes when it's that barrier there that we want to help, and the only best way to help is if they tell us where's the area that we can assist them with. And like I said, it's been those two basic items is like personal hygiene stuff and food. So whatever contributions or donations they want to give for this Christmas season, we'll be more than happy to work with them and make sure that these families get these things properly.
And a bigger budget.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Brother Kev. They say tick all of the box, but how much is in that box?
And that's always been the challenges of the mayor is that funding. Where is that money coming from? Because you guys are going to do the work regardless of what the budget is.
Yeah.
But then you add everything that 2020 has brought with the pandemic, and that you having to stretch that dollar a little bit more. How are you guys handling all that?
Tough, again, and any time that there's a budget cut, it doesn't just cut from our operation. It cuts programs. It cuts, sometimes even just the basic necessities of the need of the community, and the operational side, and so we try our best with whatever comes our way, and it's each dollar is really accounted for. We've tightened our belts already to the best that we could. I'm not too sure how much more we can tighten the belt without maybe passing out of not being able to pay with that kind of budget. But we'll be resilient, and we'll try our best as one. I know that all of our colleagues have actually reached out to one another and said, hey, if there's any way that we can help one another out, we'll be there for one another as much as we can. We're facing it all together, and it's just not a mayor's council budget crisis. We know it's the entire island, so again, we reach out to our outside partners, our business partners that are there, our sister city squadrons and commands that could potentially help us to this is the time now to really pull together as one community to try and help those that are, of course, are going to be most affected, as Bree said, this coming December once the CARES Act actually wraps up. So
have you guys
we'll just remain hopeful.
been keeping track of this RISE Act bill and the exclusion of GovGuam employees? That's the financial assistance payments that would be going out. I think it's $800 for individuals and $1,600 for joint filers. It's currently before a session. No. Okay.
I can tell you we've been getting a lot of influx for a lot of the on our end for like the verifications, and they want to get a part of the last batch, I guess, and they're still affected. So you still see people financially struggling here, Bree, and we do what we can on our side. We do what we can, and then we have to caution ourselves, of course, because we're not out here soliciting either, because BJ was on yesterday. So don't take it out of context. We are very, very much truly grateful, and we want to continue to help our people in any way we can, and like I said, unified effort. This is the time. This is the time where we need to pool our resources and get everything together to push forward and look for the upcoming year where we can fill those voids.
By any chance, would you guys take the vaccine, or you and your staff? Have you guys done a poll or survey, or even been approached?
I haven't heard any. We haven't been approached for any of the vaccines coming in. I know that there are conversations already that we've been hearing, right, that it is going to arrive, and when it does arrive, I'm sure there'll be a priority listing. But the best thing that we can do again is just, kind of like JQ said, stay within our bubble and, just kind of protect ourselves for now.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's not going to be 175,000 vaccines that's going to come tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So, again, we just need to caution ourselves to make sure that we stay within our areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that you'll be in the loop, because the public health is going to need the mayors to get the information to the Manamku, those that are not on Facebook, that are not online. They're going to need you guys. They're going to need your staff to get out there. So I'm sure when they have some concrete information, they'll let you know.
Yeah, and for us, we're very thankful again. And, I guess I'll take this opportunity to thank the governor's office and thank the fine folks at Public Health and the National Guard for, actually coming down to the village, to Agate to actually, for that 1 week, to actually fulfill what it was that we've been requesting for, as far as the testing is concerned. It really goes a long way, right? And so, like Mayor Allen was saying, sometimes, people are just too shy to drive up and say that they're in need or that there's something that's bothering them. But when you bring it down to the village level, they're still within their comfort zone to drive up to the mayor's office or to drive up to a testing site that's there, or to drive up to, wherever we're set up and say, I'm in need of that food, or I'm in need of the testing. It's just that comfort zone, I think, for our people that know that, they're still within their area. So again, thank you so much to all of the partners that are out there and all of our first responders for really pulling and getting our numbers down, and of course, keeping our island safe.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Mayor Allen, are you taking a picture today too?
Excuse me?
Are you taking a picture today too?
Oh, I did that yesterday. My brother Kev, they're so handsome.
I was telling the staff this morning with the vice mayor, I said, take a picture of us now, because this is the one time that you'll see us in our suit.
There you go.
After that, it's all working. We're using our working outfits, So take advantage of it now. Most especially for me, like I said, while I can still fit it.
Hey, before we let you go, everybody appreciates all the work that you do in the village, but we all know that you can't do it alone. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to shout out your staff for all their hard work.
Yes, I like to really thank, for the better part, the vice, my staff, the vice combination of staff, and my MPC that's very supportive of the community, the constituents, the community at large in general, that, like I said, have big hearts. All the social media outlets and everyone, the governor's office, the lieutenant governor, and all the efforts that they do to try to keep us in line, keep us safe, and push out things that are are needed to get through this. And I look forward to working with them after all this in terms of even getting the vaccines. However, public health feels that we need to get together for our people. I'm willing to work with them as well, and our military partners, of course. Just everybody that took an active role, first responders, safety, police, GPD, everyone that's been through this, all the nurses. I know, especially we forget, sometimes we forget about the ones that are behind the scenes, and we need to also acknowledge them. We all have our backbones, but believe me, there's a lot of skeletons holding that up.
Thanks, Mayor Kevin.
So, to our staff and to, from, my vice mayor, we have a wonderful working relationship with our people and, with our MPC and as well as the community. we're very, very thankful. And sometimes, you know, our jobs here, the mayor's office, is a thankless job. You know, it's we never expected it, and when we do hear it, you know, we feel very appreciated. But you know, from the bottom of you know, of my heart, from, you know, with my family and with the vice mayor, we thank our staff, because they come in and day out, you know, to make sure that what it is that's on our mission for the people, it's always delivered, and it's never unnoticed, you know. And so just that word thank you for them, you know, goes a long way. And you know, we do our best to show our appreciation to them. But to the rest, like Mayor Allen had said, you know, thank you so much for all those who have reached out to the different municipalities in one way or another to, you know, to show that you care and show that we're in this together. Thank you so much, Uncle and Jesus Masi. And in closing, I just wanted to just again add for our people that are listening, you know, please, especially for the kids, be expecting Santa and with our mini parade coming up this Friday. Again, social distance, so stay within your own home, stay on your own sidewalk. Don't be chasing the floats like you normally do, or the fire truck. There'll be a lot of things that'll be thrown out. Again, you know, thank you so much, KUAM, for all that you do to us well, and Merry Christmas to one and all, and let's have a safe New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Go take your picture.
Yes. Adios.
Adios.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Okay, we're gonna go to break, but still to come, we've got Beauty Camacho up next on the link. Keep it here. We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the car score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the car score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details, and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, Candy. Candyman, Feliz Navidad from Live Local Fridays, 9:32 in the morning. We're back with the last and final part of the show here on this Tuesday. The link being brought to you by Calvo Enterprises and IT&E. Of course, with your host, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tinani, and Andy Wheeler on the Zoom. We're back with the last part here.
And welcome back, everybody. Let's head right into the Zoom room where we have got our dear friend Beauty Camacho. Good morning, Beauty.
Buenas. Good morning.
Buenas. You are just so talented, lady.
Oh, thank you. All I said was good morning.
That was enough.
Yeah. So you reached out and you have some great news, some wonderful news about the Female Entrepreneur Association, and you being selected, right, as a team leader.
Yeah, it was so crazy, Sabrina, because there have just been like opportunities popping up, and I know that this has been such a challenging time for so many people this year, but it's been challenging for me in a different way, where it's like new up levels, new opportunities, and a lot of these things were stuff that I didn't even ask for, or I didn't even apply for them. So I'm just like mind blown as to like how these things are happening to me. But when I narrow things down, it really comes to my mindset and my appreciation, my gratitude for things, and even though there are some challenging and hard times, I just snap myself out of it and be like, you know what, Beauty, you got to stop thinking like that. Just like yesterday, I thought about like, I think my insurance is about to come up, for my car. And dude, my battery died. And I was like, man, see, look at that. It's so fast, And I was like, crap. So it's so powerful, right? Like the way that we think. And what I love about the Female Entrepreneur Association is that it's not just business. There's a lot of spirituality stuff, mindset stuff, and there are people all over the world who are joining this association. And what drew me to the Female Entrepreneur Association, it's based out of the UK, right? And that's like across the world from us, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been following them since 2013, and that's when they kind of started. So that's when I started, that's when I got my first business license too. And I just followed them on Facebook, it's just another influencer type of account. Loved their graphics. That's why I followed them. Graphics were super pretty, very inspirational. And then like 3 years down the line in 2016, I attended a Women in Business conference hosted by Miss Denise Mendiola, and Michelle Rohr was there to present about her business. Mm-hmm. I sat in the front, and Michelle Rohr just explained how she's the graphic designer for the Female Entrepreneur Association. And I just got goosebumps like all over my body, because I was like, you're a girl from Guam, you're making impact some way or another over the internet, island-wide as well, and internationally. And she plays this core role in skyrocketing the Female Entrepreneur Association. And she's so humble. She rarely talks about it. So I want to make sure I show her off too. And she's just amazing. She's like been sharing her story. And recently, what made me think about contacting you guys is like, wow, you know, the founder, Carrie Green, she mentioned the island of Guam maybe 4 times during her Fearless Challenge. That's the theme that is wrapped around this this new entryway for people, for business women to enter into the Female Entrepreneur Association. I'm like, man, this is interesting, because before that, a lot of people didn't even know what Guam was, and here I am as chosen as one of the 9 team leaders out of the hundreds of thousands of women in the network, and I still don't know what I really did to be chosen, but I'm super honored, right? And I'm just like, okay, I don't know if it's because of my tie to Guam or if it's just because I'm super friendly with everybody in the group. I really haven't gotten the opportunity to ask them that, but still, of course, very honored. And anyway, Carrie Green just mentions Michelle and Guam so many times during her lives within this challenge, and there are thousands of people in this Facebook group. So it's going to be closing on in about 2 days, and there's like maybe 13,000 people in the Facebook group who signed up for a 5-day challenge. And then we had about maybe 17,000 registrants who are also participating through email. So I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like you really get to see the perspective coming from Micronesia, right? Like, even though we're from Guam and we're from Micronesia and these tiny unknown islands, we are able to have the ideas come to fruition and come to life if we want it that bad. Right. And I was like, wow, this is just so inspiring. Michelle's always been inspiring to me. So I was just like, you know what, if this association has changed my life for the better, I want to make sure I do not miss out on an opportunity to help other business women do the same.
And
ever since I joined in 2017, it's been crazy. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just for people that are listening and watching us on Facebook, the Female Entrepreneur Association, they have over 600,000 followers, and it's an online hub, this is what it states, with the mission of inspiring and empowering women from around the world to turn their ideas into a reality, build wildly successful businesses. We believe that every single one of us has the ability to achieve incredible things, and life is too short to waste the opportunity to make it happen. And so again, you said it was 3 years ago that you became involved?
2016 is when I attended the conference that Michelle spoke at. And then I was like, dude, I didn't even know there was a membership. How come I've been so late to the party? And as an event planner, that's kind of hurtful for myself. And then in 2017, that's when I joined, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Like it's for real, like a fiesta table full of content and resources when you go into the website, and you kind of get a little bit overwhelmed. But man, we have women in there that are like at different levels in business. Some of them are still not too sure what they want, but because they know of the success of the FEA, they're just like, I'm still gonna be in here even though I don't know what I want yet, because it's so inspiring. And the ladies, it's like one big family. And then we also have multi-millionaires in there. So and they're so humble, they're so gracious, they're able and willing to help whenever they can. And to be able to connect on that personal level on Facebook, it's kind of different than LinkedIn. You got to stay a little bit more professional. And then on Facebook, when you're in a Facebook group, it's like, okay, there's other mommies in here. There's other mommy business owners in here. I get to be able to talk about how my child is playing their YouTube on an interview right now. So we're able to connect that way and just grow and have fun and learn from each other. And man, one of the most amazing things for me from joining FEA is that I was able to just get out of that small business mindset, get out of that micro mindset, and really strive to reach my first 6 figures. And I did so in 2018, probably just a year after joining. And yes, there were so many challenges, but like, wow, you know, like I did it. I'm from this small island, and I did it, and it's because I wanted it that bad.
I wanted to ask you about that,
been
Beauty.
awesome. Sure.
Because for so long there was that mindset that, oh, we're just a small island, let's just keep everything locally. And now with technology, with social media, with advertising and all that, you can convince these ladies that you can take this little idea globally whenever you want. You don't have to be that small island or have that mentality. So has that been your experience with the group?
Exactly, definitely. And that's why I'm just wanting to, be able to share the resource with them, even if they just try it for a little bit. Like, just check it out. Just come as a guest and just look through it, because I have been able to go from Guam to global. And like literally, I've been having clients in Korea and in the military, different types of military branches. Where else? Oh my gosh. I've been getting consultation requests from like Italy and Africa, South Africa, Central America, South America, of course the US, right? Because we have friends and family in the US, but these people are looking for me in the FEA or through the different like features that I'm a part of. Like I'll go on to podcasts or I'll guest blog. I did a guest blog for someone in Armenia. Like, what? They're not gonna, how are they gonna know where Guam is, you know? And it's like I'm wanting to be able and to empower more people that it's wherever you're from, it doesn't matter if you're from Guam, you can be from anywhere in the world, and it's going to be able to, you're going to be able to go global if that's what you want. But if you want to stay a little bit smaller and be able to manage things all within your own scope, then that's okay too. But it really shows you to step into your CEO level of yourself and be like, okay, you know, I want to be able to spend more time with my kids, and I want to be able to provide jobs for people. And this is the type of inspiration that is going to put that all together there for some people. And like I said, there are some members in the club who still don't even know what they want yet, but they are just so happy to be there because it's inspiring. They get to learn. So it's basically like an academy. There's a networking group, there's classes, there's events. And of course, due to COVID, like they've had Christmas parties and inspirational vacations, and it's just so cool. There's just so much to offer within the Female Entrepreneur Association. And I think another important thing too is I'm not going to name which organization, but even though it's a local organization, I've still felt discriminated. And whether it be by age or by my name even, or the color of my skin and my hair, like I've been discriminated in those local organizations, and I have never been discriminated in the FEA. Like one of our fellow team leaders who's from Egypt, she is like a queen. Her name is Kenz, and she is a house mom, and she is like banking on all of her courses that she does, and all she really does is teaches people how to do digital marketing strategy. And she's just herself, you know, she's just being herself. She has her kids come on to the live or whatever it is that she's teaching. It's so cute. And at this point in time, as we pivot, you know, everybody is going to get more accustomed to that. And it's just such an amazing opportunity to be able to share with you guys, because when you come to think of it, it's like, you know, there are just so many different avenues that we can go through being able to have an online business now. There's so many things that we can do. And I've seen some people go from no products at all to thousands within that group. And it's just crazy because it's just, you can see the impact, right? Like if you really pay attention, you can see the impact and the growth of some of these women, of course, including myself. But when you don't, like for me, I rarely track my growth. So I don't know what's going on. And that's one of my goals for the next year is to be able to do that, because I'm like, okay, Beauty, come on now. If you want to reach certain goals, you got to keep track of where you're going. So that's definitely one of the goals that I want to do next year. And we actually have one of our classes coming up where we plan together for the next year to kind of just be more successful. I think they're calling it the annual success plan. So yeah,
And Beauty,
there's so
you've
many
seen,
fun stuff.
you know just as well as anyone how many creative people there are here on island and throughout the region here in Micronesia. So anyone that has not been exposed to this group yet, how would they go about joining or getting involved or kind of focusing that energy?
Yeah, it's so cool. We do have our Facebook group. We have our Instagram, so a lot of people follow on that. But what I love specifically is joining through the actual FEA. So the website is www.femaleentrepreneurassociation.com/.
I cannot spell entrepreneur, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Like I was even trying to write it down when I was typing it. I was like, huh.
Just let autocorrect fill the rest of it.
Yeah. So, and it's so fun because it's a portal to this whole new world, really. So it connects you to the Facebook group. There's of course different opportunities to join, like mastermind pods, accountability partners, like I said, the events and the other types of structures and courses that are available. Some of them are totally at your own pace. Maybe like 90% of the content in the Female Entrepreneur Association is at your own pace. And the other 10% are through lives and collaborations, networking. So there are just so many avenues of growth available.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Beauty, for coming on, and congratulations and continued success.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
All right. Keep us posted
Happy
with everything.
holidays.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Again, go to femaleentrepreneurassociation.com for more information. And they're also, as I mentioned earlier, on Facebook. And that is going to do it for us today. All
right. Another show in the books.
Yeah. You know, Chris is probably, what do you think he's doing? He's on the beach? Kicking back, making a new video.
Probably shooting making something for breakfast, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was going to bring food for us one of these days. So.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for all that food that's supposed to be in the virtual Zoom room here. So, waiting.
Chase, you're slacking on the virtual Zoom room.
What?
Slackers.
The food in the Zoom room.
Oh, yeah, man.
I was told there would be empanada, there would be virtual corn soup. I'd like to see it.
Have we ever had virtual corn? I don't think we've done virtual corn soup yet. Oh, that's a good idea. Actually.
Virtual corn soup. Ooh.
Well, I mean, you know me. They asked me. I'm like, well, we got virtual tater tots, and we got virtual fish sticks, and then we got
hot
pockets, and some pizza rolls and chicken pot pie.
So what do we got going on tomorrow on the show? Are we teasing that? We got a lineup?
Well, some of the people that we've lined up so far, we've got Sam Shinohara from United Airlines, and so he will be.
Sam is my classmate.
Yeah.
We were in classmates in the 4th grade. Maybe I should bring that up tomorrow.
You should.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking with him tomorrow. John Fernandez. We do our weekly check-in with the Superintendent of Education. They're closing in on that deadline where they are expected to make some final decisions on whether or not they're going to go return to face-to-face education.
Wow.
Who else did I put in here that we might be having?
I know that I'm going to be actually recording KOM News Extra tomorrow after the show. Yesterday, we talked to Lillian Posadas about that beautiful display that's set up in front of GMH.
Nice.
So I'm going to be interviewing, I believe, Jen and Jen Camacho, Joyce Crisostomo, and some of the other volunteers that helped put that together. Because, I mean, we talked to the mayors that during this time, this COVID, with everything that's going on this year, we kind of ramp up the Christmas decorations and the spirit a little bit. So I think that's something pretty important. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
We're also going to have tomorrow on the show Roderick Leon Guerrero. He is also one of the other individuals that Congressman Sid Nicholas has recommended to
We got a
position.
general on the show.
Yeah, I think it was Deputy Secretary of Veterans Affairs.
Yeah.
I want to say. Yeah. So, it was actually nice to chat it up with Anthony Borja. He was recommended for the U.S. Ambassador of Palau, Shelly Calvo for the Philippines, and Michelle Kramer, U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of the Marshall Islands.
Wait, so General Langro, he was a Major General, right? When he retired?
Or Brigadier General, I'm not sure.
Was he
I'm not sure which
Brigadier?
is
Okay,
higher.
'cause the way I
From the
remember
National
it from my
Guard?
days in ROTC was the acronym you remember is Be My Little General, BMLG. So you have Brigadier General, Major General, Lieutenant General, and then just General, and that's a four. And in terms of stars, so you get one, and then the only time, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, the only time a 5-star general is declared is during time of war.
As far as I remember, yeah. It's only typically just don't go that high. We don't need them.
Yeah, I think in my lifetime I've only remembered Schwarzkopf with the 5-star.
Well, we got a little more freedom. That went into effect at 8 o'clock this morning. We're still in P-Core 1, though. Our car score's down today at, 1.3? 1.3.
That's the lowest it's been since the car score became a thing.
Right.
So good job. And remember, Crystal Pacos and Augustine from Adelup, everybody, made the strenuous point yesterday that, we're so close. The vaccine is going to be here very, very soon, but do not let your guard up, because we don't want a lack of good judgment or, bad decision, or just give in to temptation and lead to what could be, weeks, if not months more of what we've already had to go through.
Yeah, I think we got to be smart about it. And the easing of restrictions, that's if, you need to. That doesn't mean, okay, you have to go out and go sit at a restaurant, or you have to go and do this. You just have to be smart about it and take your personal risk at stake. I mean, the restrictions for me, they honestly don't matter, because I'm going to look out for myself and my family regardless, because of my condition and how susceptible I am to this. I'm not going out to eat. I mean, I only go to dialysis and the occasional trip to the grocery store. That's it. That's my life nowadays. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, with the vaccine rolling out, but we still need to be smart about it. We still need to worry about the Manamku, those of us that are a high risk. You got to think about them. And like I said, be smart. Know that, that hope there's there. The vaccine, eventually, when all the vaccines are out and people have had both doses, that we can start to kind of get back to a normal life. But we just got to push through this last little bit, and we'll be there.
Right. And that vaccine is coming.
And well, and you know what? There is something to fixate over, everybody, because of course, I mean, I'm glad we have Andy on the show now, because Chris knows sports. I mean, he was a phenomenal baseball writer when he was in his younger days, when he was at PDN. But Andy and I have always shared the passion for football. Everybody in this room is a football fan. Andy, your Patriots, I mean, they got Cam.
Yeah.
And they got Cam.
Yeah.
And they got Cam.
As a Patriots fan, you get so spoiled with success for the past 20 years. I mean, 11 or 12 AFC East championships, how many Super Bowls? You get used to just winning all the time. So sometimes you need that little reality check of just how hard it is to win in the NFL. And Cam, he's physically a beast. I mean, he's huge. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can run. But he needs to work on his mechanics. He needs to obviously learn the playbook, because you go from somebody like Tom Brady, who knows every single inch of that playbook in and out. And I think Cam needs to work on that. But, Corey, you still got Belichick there. You've still got some great defensive players. So I think they'll be all right. This year is just obviously shaken up for a lot of things.
So you have had to eat at least one slice of humble pie and learn like a tad bit of humility as a football fan. Vic, your Packers are another NFC North title, another one.
Yeah.
Just hand it over to Aaron Rodgers already. My gosh.
And I guess he's on his way. I mean, either it's him or Kansas City quarterback for the MVP. Mahomes. So it's been a crazy ride. When after the draft, the fans were like, oh, why you got to draft another quarterback? We still have Aaron Rodgers. And then this whole thing with, let's get a wide receiver. We're not, satisfied with what we have. But, the wide receiver core has been good. Our defense has stepped up, so we've been doing good. And, hey, there you go. We King of the North.
And you know what? Wide receiver, all-pro, I believe, Devontae Adams, had the quote of the pandemic. There has never been a 6-word phrase that has summed up what you should do to take care of yourself better and your family. Wash your hands, wash your butt. That's a quote, by the way. Okay, Bree, your Cowboys, they'll do well in the draft,
No,
I guess.
I'm a fan wherever anybody from OU is a quarterback.
Okay, so you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan now because Jalen Hurts got his first win.
No, I really don't. I don't really keep track of the NFL.
Hey, my Dolphins, man, we're finally starting to make some noise. It took like 25 years, but the Dolphins, baby, they're doing well.
I mean, Tua's amazing. They got him.
Making noise? Do you mean by getting smashed by Kansas City yesterday?
Well,
Is that the kind
it's
of
Kansas City. I mean, I give them a pass for that, but.
All right, ladies, I'll let you guys talk about your football fantasies and stuff. Off the air. For now, we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for listening, for watching, for streaming. We're gonna be back here 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, doing the same thing but even better. Better every day.
I'm down. Let's go.
All right. Vic, you going to take us out?
Yeah, so here it is. We'll close it out with Half a Day Holiday Cheer being brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial. And, of course, it's one of the awesome videos from our one and only artist, Joe Guam. So here it is. Until tomorrow, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Andy, in the Zoom room. And thank you guys for listening and watching and commenting all over Facebook and on the radio. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time, which is tomorrow. We'll see you again.
Bye.
Half a Day Holiday Cheer is brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in the winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job while you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire, to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in the winter wonderland. Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job while you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire, to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in the winter wonderland.